Dude, how long have I had that plus 10 on this fucking mic? Holy shit. What? Hello. Oh my. Okay, interesting.
Sorry about that. Oops.
Hello, it's me. Totally me, and not a guy who did not realize he was muted the entire time. Wait, now my mic... Oh, no, okay. If I talk right into it, I get it big time. Okay, I fucked up, and I forgot to have this mic muted for some reason. What are you gonna do? Anyway, crazy night, crazy dream. Dream doesn't matter. Stressful, apocalyptic combination of work and also weird future fantasy, murder, mystery, action adventure, something. Woke up around 6 to 8 p.m. because I do that and I have these weird hours and I need to fix that at some point. Maybe today is how I fix that. New schedule unlocked. I need to check my schedule real fast, actually. Speaking of schedule. Today is not Halloween, you liar. Oh, that's just a purple thing. Got it, though. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. Tomorrow is a thing that I might do in person, but maybe not. I'll have to see. Daylight savings times fall back. That's an extra hour. It's not bad. Woke up, got myself situated, and then I kind of edited for somewhere between 6 to 8 hours straight. I got that video of the Halloween walk, which is basically a week before Halloween, or the Sunday before Halloween. So the 26th, and now we're on the 1st. So it took me a few days to actually get through it, but damn, I edited the hell out of it. Although I say I'm done with the edit, I think I could actually make it better. Because right now, it's a hyper-localized version of the edit. It is about our direct attempt to change our municipality's power. But I want to probably make this my first video for the Sniff Test channel. And in order to do that, I need to give it a proper intro and a proper closure outro. And yes, I have got the first draft out there. I've shared it with some people to see what they think about it. But I know for a fact I want to polish it and make it actually fucking sick. Anyway, I'm happy that I was able to get some work done. This October had been actually a whirlwind of things I did. At least 3 different big projects, or video projects for DSA. October 7th thing, we did the Cuba thing, and then I did this thing. I thought there was even more in there, but that might have also been the October general body meeting as well, making that video for that thing. It's crazy how much got condensed into October when you actually do things, and when you kind of just do nothing, time flies. It's a combination. When you do nothing, time flies, and when you do a lot, time flies. But when you do just the right amount, you like really time capsule yourself into a hyperbolic time chamber. Speaking of which, before I get into the intro games, a package came today, and it's something that I might use when organizing /DSA stuff. All right, now we switch over to this microphone. Because, and I can talk to you properly because this thing's on my chest, and you may have been wondering, hey, why is there a microphone on your chest? Well, good question. Person, man, woman, TV. Surprisingly affordable package came in the mail. Should bring back over the coffee table. It'll be perfect for this. And don't worry, folks, it's just right here. Ooh, or I could just bring over the folding chair, which is also probably goated for this. And it's faster. It's a box. Nothing fancy, right? Just a box. Let me, utilize my rising desk a little bit here. All right. I make sure to not accidentally show the label with my address on it, and I probably shouldn't have mentioned anything, because now, even if there is a little bit of a frame, maybe you wouldn't have thought about it. But I got it. We're good. It's nothing super cool. Yeah, we're good. Unless there's another label in here that I didn't think of, and then I'm fucked. But you know what? I got no viewers. I could delete the VOD before anybody even saw it. It's upside down. Is it luggage? No. Yeah. It's a RGB. Cool. It's an RGB speaker. It's a giant battery, well, not giant, but battery powered rolling PA system, basically. Because there's been times that we're out there doing stuff, and it would kind of make sense to have a little bit of a functioning loudspeaker system, whether you're outside of a picket, whether you're at a protest, well, maybe not for a protest, but public speaking situation. And the cool thing is, it came with two, count them, two wireless mics. These feel pretty shitty, but what do you expect for a battery-powered, rolling, portable? These must have battery compartments. These are so hollow. Oh yeah, see, batteries. Having two microphones to have a system set up for multiple speakers, to have a system set up for, I don't know, organizing, doing something. At the very least, it could just be a backyard speaker. It was like $100, shipping and everything, and taxes. So I don't think they actually charge taxes properly. Okay. All that foam in there. There's trash in there. This could be a huge piece of shit. And I guess I could always return it, but sometimes it's hard to return things when they're not bought through traditional vendors. Let's see. This is a power adapter of 9 volt, 2 amp. Might even have some of those. I have a few. Because you can just buy these little things independently. Because sometimes your shit will have a barrel connection, and all you need to do is just get the right one to plug in. Wow, a remote. And the most anemic thing I've ever seen. Which is fine. Who reads these things anyway? User manual and safety. I can look at this later. Huh, they never even used the sticky. There's a little, like, peel the sticky away. Again, doesn't really matter to me, because it all got to me in one piece. AAAs, AA's in the hand mics. I have some rechargeable AA's, so I could even make that pretty usable. Although I think they're almost all being used right now in some capacity or another. These are doubles, right? What does it say? You know, it probably says in the manual, I guess, at the very least. Or you go to plug one in and you go, oh, that's definitely a double. Bluetooth connection. Recording. Wait, what? TWS connection? I guess you can actually pair up 2 of them together. Then you could have 4 microphones. Wowee. But would all 4 go through, or they just be 2 per? I don't know. They actually don't even have any instructions for the install the new battery correctly. You got it. Okay. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Wow. Oop. We got a peel. Bag. Sorry, Mother Earth. Not this time. Let's see. Is there any power built in? Ah, yeah, da, da. Shocked. That plastic bag and then the metal grill. Woo, buddy. I wonder if that sounded weird on the mic. Just because. I think it's on. Look at that. Blue. It says the word blue. We got some ever-growing lines here. So GT in, don't know what that is. Mic 1, mic 2, I know what those are. So you can actually have physical mics as well as are those Bluetooth, I guess? I thought there might be like a receiver for these that would plug into each one of these. But there's nothing else in the bag, so definitely not. Let me see if I've got 2 batteries in here. Nope. Time to go into the battery closet then. Which we definitely have 2 batteries in there. Although I thought I had batteries floating around here somewhere for some reason. Thinking, looking. Don't see them popping out anywhere. Oh, yeah. Okay, battery thing. Perfect. Okay, go. Coming down. Coming back in. Look at that thing go. Would you look at all those colors? Uh-oh, the battery indicator went from like 1 bar down to multiple bars down. Doubles, or triples, I mean. If I wanted some doubles, theoretically this bag might, oh, these are all triples, basically. It's crazy. Or even smaller. This is the box that has doubles. Yes. Ugh. Give them up. Okay, because the instructions are so non-existent, I guess we gotta just wing it. But honestly, I'm a man. That's what we like to do, is just fucking raw dog it until you get it right. On. What do I hear? Hello? What do I hear? Something. Okay, there's 2 different channels. There's off, on, so like in between off and on is fine. But when I go all the way up, I hear this high-pitched coming out of my speakers. And now I don't hear it. That's really weird. Also, how do you change settings on this? They give me the UHF frequency, which... Sorry if I'm really loud for talking down toward the microphone here. Really weird. Well, maybe use this. Now I'm hearing it again. It comes in just very few waves. Let me try putting batteries in the controller. That could be more important than I realized. Power, mute, direct track, play keys, jazz, yeah, whatever, man. Voice cut, eliminate human voices. Eliminate. Is that like a bad karaoke thing where it just sort of like mutes out the human range of the vocal? That would be terrible. 1 battery, 2 battery. Then plug it in. Okay. Rewind, fast forward, volume, EQ, recycle, FM, SD, BT, record, play, pry, record, aux. me just go over here. Mic priority. Yes. No. So there's volume, and then there's mic volume. Mic volume, mic volume. Volume, mic volume, mic volume. Treble bass, mic echo, GT. Off. On. Mic prio, blue. Do you mean blue microphone? That's Bluetooth.
AUX mode.
Oh my god, that was...
FM mode. AUX mode.
Okay, there's no volume setting for that bitch.
FM mode.
I don't want FM, thank you.
AUX mode.
Do you think it's LU aux mode, or do you think it's... Aux mode is the aux cable. Get the aux cord, bro. I guess there's always microphones on? In theory? This is a microphone. Hello. Oh, wait. When you go all the way up, you can hear it. If you don't go all the way up, you don't hear it. Hello, 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 hello. I see. So, oh yeah. So this volume can be down. That's just the music volume. And then as you increase this, you increase how much? Hey, everybody. Yo. Is that... I mean, you won't really be able to hear that, but that's not that loud. It's not that quiet either, but let's see. If I increase this, does that also increase it? Not really. And I hear this, which is really annoying. Bass, bass, bass. Mic echo, mic echo. Yo, that's so stupid. What's GT volume? GT, GT, GT. Don't know what that is. Priority. On. Off. Just keep that off, whatever that is. I don't think it's helping. And this is as loud as that gets, which is kind of a bummer. It's not that loud. This is not loud enough to do like a huge group. There was like a $400 one on sale. It was like $800 off. So that made it $400. And I was like, oh, maybe that would be really important to have for some events. But seems like, you know what? If you get right up on it, that is pretty fucking loud. If you just eat the mic, that's pretty good, I think, all things considered. So it's a little annoying to have to do this, but you know what? It's probably better than nothing. Now, lazy mode would be going to... I should probably not go this hard. Lazy mode would be going to a protest and loading up a file that is just you saying all the chants. And that way you don't have to do that with a megaphone. You can just have them play on repeat. And then occasionally talk to people with the microphone as needed. But I wonder if that sound is just because of interference of electronic devices, or if that's just a slight sound that comes out of it. More noticeable in person. Also, LED light, you can just fucking turn them off, I think. I hope. Yeah, see? Much better. Also, it saves battery. So, how much battery? I have no idea. But some amount of battery. And you know what? We can have a fucking killer karaoke night at the DSA headquarters with this. Wait. Was it the LEDs? Oh, hell yeah. No longer a problem. So I don't know if the LED is just messing with the UHF frequency. But now it seems to be off. So cringe. It's cringe to have LED lights on your thing. So I'd rather just not have that. Sick. I kind of wish you could like tell it what to write, because then you could say like DSA, DSA, like if you really wanted to. But I think this is pretty good. And the fact that it can get really loud is nice. So cool. Oh, it even has like a number on it. So you can see what number you like and then come back to that number later. Very handy. And then also you can play music and then bring it down and be like, all right, shut up, bitch. You just gotta kiss the microphone quite a bit. But I guess that'll also do a good job of negating its own feedback. Because like, that's really hard, surprisingly not feeding back at all. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. That don't point it into the microphone, but that's crazy that you can get that fucking close to it. So, pretty impressive. Not bad. Also, I think, no, I thought I would have like a battery output or something. It has little wheels on it. Little wheels. I mean, I guess maybe this USB could be a power out. Probably not. But this is a lot of time dedicated to this one weird thing for the sake of it. Just because I had it in my room and there's no viewers, so it's my stream, bitch. I can do what I want. Now I can just wheel this son bitch out of here. But I can keep talking. It's me. Oh, I can just put this right in Kara's bedroom / my bedroom. Hi, Kara. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? You said yes?
Yes.
Let me increase. The vase isn't.
Substantially loud.
You think so?
Not like.
She says it's loud, so you guys
not
know.
Like, substantially like super loud, but it does have a bit of volume.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
Okay. I'm glad you like it. Maybe it'll be useful.
I think it'll be useful.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Did it? Oh, I thought it would do like a doodle turn off sound. Yeah, I thought I would have something, but oh well. Okay. That was an interlude of the stream brought to you by this thing I bought. Nobody asked me to buy it. It was just one of those things. Saw it, thought, well, I guess I saw a different thing. Was like, wow, wait a minute, there's probably cheaper versions of this. And then there were, and then I guess it's like not as strong as the real expensive versions would be. But given the cost difference, and then how often I'll actually use it, I figured this is probably a good mixture. All right, get the batteries out of here. Yep. Okay. Let me just clean up slightly before I waste all of Kara's time rearranging the things that I just undid. Probably best to remove the batteries, because if you're not going to use it right away, then why let the batteries corrode inside of the device? And there's a nice little kind of, there's probably not intentionally, but a little cubby for them to kind of sit inside of. So I'll just put them right in there, and then ow, that'll be fine. Okay, batteries back in the closet. Then I'll turn off this whole wireless. I mean, I hooked up my wireless mic thing and fiddled with it and relaunched the program just to do this. So I'm glad we made use of it. One day I'll have a guest on stream and they'll sit in the chair. One day. Okay. Back down we go. This is not the highest it goes. I just thought it was high enough for what we were doing. Oh, I gotta put this over there and this over there. And I don't think this matters, but... Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, that's not doing well. You know what? I think it's fine. It might become not fine, but I think it's fine. As long as they don't go rolling around. I could probably attach a little bag or something. All the accessory shit. Okay. Okay. Like this. I'll just put it aside. All right. Boink. Boink. Back to the real mic. Hopefully this sounds a lot better. I'm sure it sounds somewhat better. Microphone off. Everything's the way it was meant to be. Might as well just put this back on the thing that it belongs to be. Little zit as I add a new audio device. Wait, we losing frames? Is that me? Doing something weird? I lost both frames of both pieces, whatever. It wasn't that many, so. That mic's off, so we're good. Okay. Let's do our penis. We got Wordle, we got connections. Penis. Oh, wait. There we go. Alright. A long penis. Oh wait, I'm doubling up on my N. I'm dumb. I didn't. How did I not notice it? I guess I just really wanted the word along. For long, get it? Low. Lowy? Lowly? But there's an E in there. Lowy. World. Well, the O is correct. The L could be L-O, E, low. No, there's gotta be an E. I am rapidly running out of places here, so. Lubre? That like that sounds like a Spanish word. So let's go back to regular squeeze. L-O-E doesn't look right to me. W's gone. L-O-F-T-E. I think loft is just that, no E. Low. Phi E, no. I'm just kind of kidding with the phi. Locked, but the D is gone. Locky, I think, did we look at this already? Alright, so the L is the very end. And that's all we got. So we got O-O-E-E-L. B. So like B-O-M-E-L. I kind of think the most, like, I guess X is the best, like, blank letter. Hotel. Okay. Motel. Let's look at the other ones. Botel, no. Votel, no. Cotel, no. Exaltal, no. Zotel, no. Voltol, no. Joltol, no. Foltol, no. Optel, no. Util, no. Total, no. Etel, no. So it's gotta be just motel. Literally can't. I mean, unless there's another word I just don't know exists. Got it. All right, one down. Bam. Connections next. 1 day streak. Go. Alt is the wrong key. Control is the right key. 4 groups of 4. Raven, Pinky, Chip, Jet, Inky, Rocky, File, Slide, Clyde, Reed, Hardy, Sue, Teller, Charge, Indict, Itchy, Pitch, Share. All right. So as soon as I saw Hardy, I was thinking of like, or Hardy Boys. I thought there was more, but I guess I don't. What are the other fucking weird ass murder books? I thought for some reason Sue or whatever could be one, but I guess not. Raven is a color, technically, as well as a bird. Jet, Raven, 2 different types of black. Inky is a type of black, maybe. And then Pitch Black, Inky Black, Raven Black, Jet Black. I think that might work. Bam. File. Obviously, I'm a nerd, so I'm thinking of file as in, like, computers. But there's got to be something else. Auto. ATM. Charge machine. Teller machine. Chip, charge. I'm thinking maybe like with credit cards as a chip, or you can like charge it to your card. You can't really chip it to your card. Share is a person that has one name. Itchy is the name of a character with one name. Rocky is a character with one name, and then Pinky in the Brain. Oh, fuck. Okay, these all end in Y, and that ends in Y, which makes me think maybe Share is the one that's wrong. Come back to that. Indict, charge. Those are 2 things. File. Can you file somebody and sue? You can indict somebody. You can sue somebody. You can charge somebody. You can file somebody. Yeah, take the court. File feels a little weird there, but I get it. So I had before Share, Pinky, Itchy, Rocky. Hardy? The Hardy Boy? But then which one is different? Which one's not? Because Rocky Balboa, I guess they have 2 names there. And that's just Hardy Boy? The Hardy? But his name's not Hardy. His name is like, they have their own names. Rocky is like the single name of a thing. Let's see. Her. I don't see anything else. Hip, her. Let's see, there's like, take away the first letter, it makes another word. So like the word her, the word hip, the word inky, the the word Eller? No. Aki? No. So hip, Inky. Tishy? That's not a real word. Because I had this before, and that was one away. So if Tishy is wrong, then hip could be it. If it's her, Inky, hip, and... But Aki, I don't think it's a word. So that wouldn't make sense for the... This is one away, basically. Which one would be different than this? Which one? Teller. Lied. Hide. You can collide. You can Party? No. Alright, this is one away. Right? Yeah, already guessed one away. So instead of... I'm gonna guess not itchy, maybe hardy? That's not even close. So now, this is more than one away. So I just changed one. So this was one of the ones that is included in the one away. And that is also not one that's included in the one away. So itchy is correct. Now it's either going to be... Let's see. I keep thinking of like Helen Keller when I see Teller, which is weird. And the stupid South Park, the Hardly Boys. Makes you think of Hardly, not Hardy. Who is Clyde? Is Clyde a character inside of Rocky? So would that be like Clyde, Hardy, Rocky, and Chip? Which really means Teller's the correct one? That one's not even two away either. So Rocky is included in this. So maybe Cher is not. And then maybe... I'm so fucked. So if this is one away, then... That's so weird to me, dude. I'm fucked on this one. Yeah, I'm just done for. Second in a famous... Hold on, get out of here. Oh, I have to go scroll off. Second in a famous real-life doing. Bonnie and Clyde. Okay. Hardy and I don't know who. And then Teller, I don't know who the other one is. Rodents who are first in a cartoon duo. Wait, what? You have a duo here? Real life duo versus a cartoon duo. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Pinky and the Brain. Itchy and Scratchy. Who the fuck is Chip? Is that like... I don't... I had too many... I mean, I had fucking at least 2, 3 blanks here. So I'm just like, I was lost. View results. Yeah, I just kept getting it worse and worse. I was almost right thinking about Cher. I mean, Cher is Cher. What the fuck else would it be? Rocky was wrong. I was alright with Itchy and Pinky, though. I just didn't know. I didn't think... I should have thought about Rocky and Bullwinkle. I should have. And then maybe I could have guessed Chip from Chippendales? Chip and Dale? Oh, wow. Rescue Rangers, whatever. Okay, so Chip... I mean, I'm just not old enough for that. But yeah, I've heard of it, so I could have done it. All right, turn off the music and let's do our Chinese. Hanzi practice. Let's start it.
咖啡
Cafe. Easy peasy. That's coffee. Cafe.
咖啡
Coffee.
All right, you got to draw coffee now. So it's 2 boxes over what is kind of like an H. They want you to go. Yeah, they make boxes in a really weird way. They draw them as 3 lines, which I think is interesting. Over and then across. So this one here, they start off with the cross one and then come down. And over here, they start with the down and then you go across, which is like maybe because you start with the closest line.
咖啡
Down, over. Oh, they counted that? Okay. Yeah. Yep.
咖啡
It goes down. Oh, yeah. And then across.
Coffee.
Comes over, and then we have the down one after. And the down one is a bit of an angle.
Coffee.
Zonk. Zonk. In my drawing tablet. No, I'm just kidding.
咖啡
Cafe. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
咖啡
Yeah. 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 Thanks. You really gave me that one. Yeah.
咖啡
Wait, what the fuck? What? Oh, this is that was the ka, and this is the fei. Holy shit. I'm so stupid. I didn't even consider that there was more to it. Yeah, it's just a 3-pronged thing, almost back to back, but there's a little twist in it.
Coffee.
And the twist is in. Uh-huh.
Coffee.
Cafe. Yep.
咖啡
It goes down, then oh yeah, out. Wait. Oh. Start from out, come in. Interesting. I guess it's always left and right, huh?
咖啡
Well, not always. Because this one starts right and then goes a little left, but that's reasonable. Yeah.
Coffee.
It would be cool to actually learn how to do the writing and shit. So I'm not going to completely bullshit this, but I'm like, whatever, man.
Coffee.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Dun dun. Dude, he's loving it. All right. Fire. 3-day streak. I signed up for a 50-day streak, so we're getting there slowly but surely. Can you make it to the next one? Okay, 7's a little bit, and then 14's a lot, and then 30's a lot. Big jump from one day to boom, 4 days, and then boom, 7 days, the boom, 16 days. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we got a whole new lesson now. Very cool. Let's fill up our XP here.
咖
Food and
啡
drinks
和
again?
茶咖啡和茶
What shot?
咖
Coffee
啡和
and tea.
茶
I'm able to benefit. Like I remember this being the T symbol because it has a little house and looks cute. So that's helpful. The certain parts thinking about them, and then like hey hui is the E rising, but the U sound
咖啡和茶，
hui is weird, but that's different than this one, which sounds. I'm gonna guess that it sounds. I feel like it sounds more like a.
热热
r-
热
Right.
茶，
That one's tough. Hello, worthless troll. That's basically not worth talking to.
咖啡
Coffee is coffee.
水和茶，
Shui is water.
水，水和茶，
Hui,
和
cha.
Cha.
So that'd be water with tea.
水咖啡
Water, coffee. Water, coffee.
水水
That was it.
水和咖啡，
Oh, they even give it to you there. And they actually wrote it out. They didn't just say it. So water and coffee.
咖啡和水，
Coffee.
咖啡，咖啡和水，
What?
和
Shui.
水，
So coffee and water. Fill in the blanks.
Shui.
What? Water and tea.
和
And tea.
茶，
Oh yeah. Hua cha. I should say it.
茶
Cha. Tea. Tea. Hua. Coffee.
和咖啡，
Ten in a row, baby. Coffee and tea. Coffee.
咖啡
Hui.
和
Hua. I went to the hui because I see the e there. Hua. Tea. Cha.
茶
Gotta do the rising A. Ah. Cafe.
和
Sweet.
水，
Coffee and water. Great work. Let's make it harder. Write this in Chinese. Water and tea. Shui.
水
Hui. Hua.
和
Cha. Cha.
茶
Cha. Yeah. Tea and coffee. Cha. Hui. Hua. Yeah. Cha. Hua. Coffee.
茶和咖啡
Coffee and water. Oh, coffee.
咖啡
Hua.
和
Shui.
水
Oh, is it? So far, surprisingly easy, but I imagine it's going to completely rip my ass in half in no time. No thanks. Damn. What, 2 more? Food and
热
drinks.
水，
Hot water.
热水，
Zhu. It's so hard for me to see that as like a Z sound, but that is it. Select matching pairs. Tea. Cha.
茶，
Water. Shui.
水，
Zhu.
热，
Mi fan. Mi fan.
米饭
Coffee.
茶和米饭
Cha.
茶
He.
和
Mi fan.
米饭
So that's tea and rice. Tea. Cha.
茶，
Coffee.
咖
Coffee.
啡，
Water. Shi. Shui. Shui.
水
Soup. Tong.
汤，
Hot is Zhu. Oh, I didn't say it.
热茶和咖啡，
Zhu
热
cha.
茶，
Did they say hu coffee?
热茶和咖啡， 和
coffee.
咖啡
So hot tea and coffee. But does that mean that the coffee is also hot? Is that adding in through? That's grammar for you. I don't know.
汤茶
Soup tea.
茶和汤
Cha
茶
with
和
tong.
汤茶和汤
And that's tea and soup.
汤和茶
Tong is soup and cha tea. Tong hu cha. Mi fan hu je
热
cha.
茶
And that's hot tea. So that's rice and hot tea.
米饭和水
Mi fan hua shui, that's rice and hot water. Rice. Oh, sorry. Rice and water, not hot water. Just rice and water. I was adding the extra thing in there. Water. Fill in the blanks. Cha hua je coffee.
热咖啡
Tea and hot coffee.
水和汤
Water and soup. Water and soup. Rice and tea. Mi fan.
米饭
Why is this harder? Hui.
和
Hua. Tea. Cha.
茶
Shui. Hua. Tong.
水和汤
Je. Shui. Hua. Cha.
热水和茶
Hello. One more. Wow, I'm a sage. Wow.
这是咖啡
这是 coffee. This is coffee.
这是咖啡这是米饭
This is rice. Rice.
豆腐豆腐
Hot. Je. Wait.
热
Je. Ah, such a weird one. Water. Shui.
水
Tofu. Tofu.
豆腐
Rice. Mi fan. Mi fan.
米饭
Soup. Tong. Well.
豆腐和米饭
Tofu.
豆腐
Je. Je. Mi fan.
豆腐和米饭
Hua. Mi
和
fan.
米饭
That's, yeah, tofu and rice. Rice. Mi fan.
米饭
Coffee. Coffee.
咖啡
Water. Shui.
水
Porridge is zhou. Zhou.
粥
Zhou. Sorry. Tofu. Tofu.
粥
Porridge.
粥
汤粥
Soup. Porridge.
这是热咖啡
Zoshe shu. Zoshe.
这是
This is
水
water. Did you say water?
这是热咖啡
Just say shu coffee. Oh no. Just say zhu coffee, not shui coffee.
热咖啡
Yeah, this is hot coffee.
粥和米饭
Porridge and rice. 豆腐.
豆腐，汤和豆腐，
Porridge and tofu. Oh, sorry. Soup. What's wrong with me? No, that was close. This is hot tea. The joy. Wait. Jushi. Jushi. And then it's the cha.
这是热茶。
Rice and porridge. Mi fan. Hui. Hua. Yeah, mi fan. Hua. Jo.
米饭和粥，
Joe. I gotta do the steady and long. This is hot water. Jushi. This is
这是
hot is jouet. Fuck. Why I can't think of the way to pronounce water. Shui. Because all that, like, trying to think of the Z for the jouet. Shui.
热水。
Shui. Yeah. This is hot water. Because, like, this sounds like it's a Z and this sounds like it's a J. So it's like, that's it. I got my chest. Give me them gems, dog. 5 gems. You need like 100
Get
gems.
more with Super
Oh
Duolingo.
my god. Jesus Christ, dude. Why is it that volume is so loud? I've got this fucking, my speakers at 33%. Why? Naturally, every game, everything is just fucking loud, man. No. Fucker. Bronze League. You've ranked number 1. What? Oh, fuck. Now I'm down again. Fuck. What's this? What is the meaning of this? Did I get more gems than 5? I don't remember having that many. Whatever. Cool. Bronze League. Top 15 advanced to the next league. Man, I could have had like, I think a few more points if I didn't mess up that one thing one time accidentally. So is it just like a 1-day league? Who's got the most points in 1 day? That seems kind of crazy because you can just sit here and just go for it. Oh, this week? Weird. Well, I've done a bunch this time, so. Is this like the next unit? What is this? Or that's like a challenge level, maybe? I don't know. Wait, why did this one get gold? And this one is not gold. I got like a special color because I did a challenge thing, I think, on it. Why didn't they give me an option to do a challenge on that one? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's do our first video of the day. I think this is actually from Friday, but whatever. This should work. Very nice. Very nice. Oh my god, it's such a huge title. So, Charlie Kirk meme scandal minus Zoran, fake news. And Trump goes nuclear.
Trump's fun new nuclear threats and what it means for you. The man jailed over Charlie Kirk memes was just freed after a month in jail. The Zoran Mamdani Bill de Blasio scandal shows why healthy skepticism is healthy. And then I got a final awesome thing for you today. But we're talking about all of that and even more on today's brand new Philip DeFranco Show, you daily dive
Well, it's yesterday's, but
into the news, starting with this. A guy who got arrested over social media posts that he made following Charlie Kirk's death was just released from jail. Because we're talking about Larry Bushart in Tennessee, who
we couldn't have been in jail that long, right? Based off of that.
got taken into custody on September 22nd, with him just getting released today. So he was in there for over a month, right? And Larry, he's a
All right. I guess it was a while ago, wasn't it? I guess he got hit up that really fast. Retired police officer, hilarious.
a retired police officer. He's known to talk politics online and post liberal memes. Right, according to reports, in the days after Charlie was killed, Larry was doing just that, posting a ton on Facebook, including in the comment section of a post in a group called What's
Bro, you're going to hit somebody up for the comment section? Holy fuck. They are cracking down on that policing hard.
Happening in Perry County. And the post was about a vigil to be taking place to honor Charlie in a town called Linden. And Larry, he posted a slew of memes asking who gives a shit that Charlie died, mocking Kash Patel's Valhalla comment, and more. But also, the one that got him in the most trouble was where he referenced Donald Trump's own words, or there being a photo of Trump's face alongside the quote, "We have to get over it," with a meme noting that Trump did in fact say that one day after a shooting at Perry.
Why is that a crime if it's even the fucking truth? Even, I mean, obviously any joke should be not a straight up crime within limitations, but like,
High school in Iowa. And above that, the meme said, "This seems relevant today." Where so to most people, it would seem like the meme is suggesting that if Trump is telling people to get over school shootings, then the public should also get over Charlie Kirk. But also a thing here is at the local high school in the town there, it was called Perry County High School. And there had also recently been an alleged threat against it. And so the Perry County sheriff claimed that this caused panic, saying that parents and students and teachers were concerned that he was talking about a hypothetical school shooting at the local Perry County High School.
what?
And above that, the meme said, "This seems relevant today." Where so to most people, it would seem like the meme is suggesting that if Trump is telling people to get over school shootings, then the public should also get over Charlie Kirk. But also a thing here is at the local high school in the town there, it was called Perry County High School. And there had also recently been an alleged threat against it. And so the Perry County sheriff claimed that this caused panic, saying that parents and students and teachers were concerned that he was talking about a hypothetical school shooting at
My ass. Fucking no shot.
the local Perry County High School in Tennessee. And so Larry, he ends up getting charged with threatening mass violence at a school, and he gets held on $2 million bail. With that truly shocking, Larry,
What the fuck?
according to body cam footage published by The Intercept.
This is what they charged him with. Threatening mass violence at a school.
At a school?
It's referring to a school. I have no idea. That's what they've called us for, and I ain't got a clue.
I played on Facebook. That's where I know what I know you don't give a damn. I've been in Facebook.
I'm not saying you did or didn't do anything.
No, I did do, but I didn't think you committed a crime.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you did or did not commit a crime.
I may have been an asshole, but I'm
That's not illegal.
Right, and with this, you've had many questioning
Oh, but you just said he didn't do a crime. Oh, shit. You just said it. You didn't do something illegal.
if this post even caused the mass panic the way the sheriff
Exactly.
claimed that it did. With the
Because people would have to know there was a threat, and you don't tell the kids that there was a threat if it was a threat that was seen as not a problem.
senior attorney for the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression telling USA Today that he filed open records requests with Perry County Schools asking for communications laying out the so-called hysteria that Larry allegedly caused. But they apparently had none, with him explaining. I never heard anything back at all from the county, and all the school said was that the sheriff handled the case and there are no records. And then on top of that, well, some of Larry's other comments actually got traction and responses. That meme one was apparently ignored on Facebook. And so when reports of his arrest made local news,
Didn't even get any fucking likes or little angry face emojis. It was a dead in the water.
many were just confused and argued that the sheriff was violating free speech by arresting Larry. Right? Many thinking that the sheriff, who also posted seeming to grieve Charlie Kirk, willfully
Oh, Charlie, my boy, no. Some guy from Tennessee grieving Charlie. I mean, it makes sense. He's parasocially connected to his streamer. He's in the right age group. Man. It'd be like me, I don't know, arresting somebody because they made a post that I thought was threatening a dog collar or something. And then that would somehow have made me mad about the drama happening with my parasocial thing. Obviously, death is a bigger lightning rod for emotions and stuff, but still, when you're a fucking officer, you're just so emotional. You know, he's so hysterical. His hyster needs to get removed.
Misinterpreted Larry's words. Right? And then you had a Facebook page called Justice for Larry Bussart being made in support, calling for him to be free.
Free Larry. Most Tennessee ass looking thing.
Condemning the sheriff for the arrest, defending Larry's remarks as non-threatening. And then all of it bringing us to yesterday where we got the news that the charges against Larry had finally been dropped after, he had been locked up for a month because of this.
Yeah, like he was going in there thinking like, whatever, I got Facebook jail, let's see what this is. Then he's in there for a fucking month. He's probably come out looking thin.
With Larry walking free and telling reporters,
thanks to all and any supporters out there, and very happy to be going home. I didn't seek to be a media sensation.
And as far as why these charges were all of a sudden dropped, it's not clear right now. Though
I'm going back to posting shrimp Jesus.
Oh, you do have some noting that it came not long after reporting on the case from The Intercept and News Channel 5 in Nashville brought a ton of attention to the case. Right, and specifically with that, there was an interview that News Channel 5 did with the sheriff of Perry County that caused a ton of outrage. Because you see, in that interview, he continued to say that the arrest was due to public concerns while also seemingly admitting that he knew Larry wasn't actually threatening the school.
35 days over a meme.
Well, it was a series of posts, but yes, the one post that he made was the one with Donald Trump that got everybody's attention and was considered threatening. That led people to believe in our county that he's talking about Perry County High School, because it doesn't say Iowa either.
But you also knew this was an existing meme that was already out there on the internet.
Correct.
And so it's clear he's not talking about Perry County High School.
We knew. The public did not know.
Ooh, I'm smart, you see, but the public, those fucking idiots. But yet there was no public outcry. Interesting. I can tell you right from the start, fucking no shot, dude.
The interview, it doesn't go well, and again, it brings us to today where Larry is out, he is free, but also, like, it can't be dismissed. He was in jail for over a month over this. But hey, that's a story, a little bit of my take, and now, of course, I pass the question off to you. Whether you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to know your thoughts.
This is one random ass sheriff, but still, you know, a white, red-blooded American who is a lib, posted and bluing on, you know, Trump memes, whatever, got fucking locked up, right? Damn. I would not have thought that would have been a person to get locked up. Because, like, just like how that one Icelandic person or Nordic person got held up in for the JD Vance meme, right? You're like, wow, this person's white and they're holding him up. Wow. Didn't think that they were already getting to that phase. This is just, again, one random sheriff, but it does show that knives are out.
Thoughts, opinions, and reactions here. But then, next up in the news, Donald Trump just ordered the Pentagon to begin testing nuclear weapons again for the first time since 1992, which was actually really cool news to see after I had just finished.
Let's get some more hot steel, or whatever the fuck it's called.
A House of Dynamite on Netflix. Right, but we should talk about what this means and how it happened, because he made this announcement just minutes before meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. With Trump writing, the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country. This was accomplished, including a complete update and renovation of existing weapons during my first term in office, and then going on to say, because of the tremendous destructive power, I hated to do it, but had no choice. Russia is second and China is a distant third, but will be even within 5 years. And then finally adding, because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis.
That's the worst reasoning I could ever imagine. Oh man, these weapons are so powerful. These weapons, so scary. They should never exist in this world. Wait, someone else is catching up to me? We got to get better than them. Fast, fast, fast. It's like, what happened to this fear of the power that exists, and that it's already the ultimate? There is no issue. what I wonder if it retruths. I wonder if it's legitimately both, because you could only with like raw stupidity could it be both. It's a distraction. I don't know.
Process will begin immediately.
Yeah, I'm gonna bank with raw stupidity as a starter and dick size.
Okay, so a few things to mention, a few issues with what he said. One, just to be exact and for the sake of accuracy, the exact number of nuclear weapons held by each country, it's not 100% known. But it's actually Russia that has the most, according to estimates by groups including the Federation of American Scientists and Arms Control Association. Then two, it's not exactly clear why the order was given to the Pentagon when America's nuclear arsenal is maintained by the Department of Energy and a semi-autonomous agency within that's known as the National Nuclear Security Administration. And then three,
because it doesn't know, that's why.
And this is a big one, neither Russia, China, nor any country on Earth except North testing of missiles that deliver a nuclear warhead with the testing of the warheads themselves. Right, and in that case, this might all actually be a response to Putin announcing earlier this week that Russia had tested a new nuclear-powered cruise missile and an atomic-powered underwater drone, both capable of delivering a nuclear payload. And a big thing, right, with that missile is it's reportedly been engineered to evade defense systems being developed by the United States, namely Trump's so-called Golden Dome, which the Kremlin sees as an effort to develop first strike capability over Russia. And so actually, with that, I think it's worth noting that like Russia, the US military already regularly tests its own missiles capable of delivering a nuclear payload. We actually tested one just last month. And so again, it's not clear right now what starting tests on an equal basis is Trump.
We love shooting off big expensive missiles. Of course we do. It makes sense.
Trump said would really mean in the future. Though you should not take any of that as a reason to dismiss the seriousness of the situation. It's still nukes we're talking about. And even separate from this announcement,
I cannot imagine that the Pentagon is actually going to go forward and tell the Department of Energy to blow up a nuclear payload for no reason. If he's so worried about his nuclear fucking stockpile, then throwing some away is not fucking going to help him with it. He's just a scared little baby and he wants to make a big play in front of Putin. That's all it really is. And it's also funny because he's stupid. He just assumes it's war because it's a bomb. Of course it's war. Didn't even bother to look it up or ask.
And I mean, you've had many arguing for a while that we're in the midst of a new nuclear arms race. Because the thing is, Russia and China, they've been aggressively expanding their nuclear stockpile in recent years, and the US has also been spending massively to upgrade its arsenal. And so actually with that, you had...
I think our arsenal's mega old, and do we have to spend money on it?
Putin signing a bill back in...
Like even having this first strike capability versus second strike versus maybe shooting some down over the ocean, like it's all fucked at that point, isn't it? I mean, making defenses to shoot down enemy nukes does seem like a thing that most places would want to do, but
2023, revoking his country's ratification of the nuclear test ban treaty, claiming that it was necessary to put Russia on equal footing with the United States, which had signed but never ratified the treaty. Right next year, you have the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty between the United States and Russia set to expire. And, like you maybe know, because we actually did a whole deep dive on this subject in the past, a key takeaway on this subject and the situation is that you have experts saying that thanks to models and simulations and other techniques that we have now, there's no point in actually live testing anymore, especially given the potential downside. And so you've had experts saying the goal of conducting a fast-track nuclear test can only be political, not scientific. And actually adding to that, in response to Trump's announcement, you had the head of the Washington-based Arms Control Association calling the president misinformed and out of touch and arguing the US has no technical, military, or political reason to resume nuclear explosive testing, then claiming it would take at least 36 months to resume contained nuclear tests underground at the former test site in Nevada, and adding, by foolishly announcing his intention to resume nuclear testing, Trump will trigger strong opposition in Nevada from all US allies, and it could trigger a chain reaction of nuclear testing by US adversaries and blow apart the nuclear non-proliferation.
I mean, honestly, I could definitely see how that could. You'd hope that the other leaders would go like, this idiot didn't know and was then told not to. So, but then, following through could definitely make people then begin to test again, like to prove that they're not falling behind. Because as soon as he thought he was falling behind, he's like, test, test, test. And then everyone else is going to be doing it. And it's like, well, this is pointless.
And so at that point, you've already had the Kremlin warning that if the US resumes nuclear testing, Russia would follow suit. And at least for now, Trump really hasn't offered any clarity about his remarks, only speaking to reporters and doubling down.
They seem to all be nuclear testing. We have more nuclear weapons than anybody. We don't do testing, but with others doing testing, I think it's appropriate that we do also.
And then with that, he said,
but it's like, but they don't. They just test the delivery mechanism, which we also test. So Also, we don't have the most, but whatever. Don't let them know that. We'll build fucking 100 more.
That future testing will be announced. So look forward to that, I guess. And then there's more we're going to dive into in just a minute. But first, let me say, just use code Phil to get 10% off and let them know we sent you. But then
Phil's had bad history with sponsors that end up being scams. So ethical react, but also Phil. Come on, man.
next up in the news, this Zoran Mamdani Bill de Blasio scandal is kind of fantastic. Because former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio seemed to be a fan of Mamdani. Then you had the Times of London reporting that he was starting to question if Mamdani's policies were actually feasible and saying, while the ambition is admirable, the cost estimates reportedly exceeding $7 billion annually rest on optimistic assumptions about eliminating waste and raising revenue through new taxes. And adding, in my view, the math doesn't hold up under scrutiny and the political hurdles are substantial. And this was seemingly such a big shift and such a big statement that Andrew Cuomo's team, they picked this up and they said that de Blasio realized that Mamdani's policies were stuff like free buses. It was just glitter and vibes. Except, little tiny baby issue. Bill de Blasio came out and said he never actually spoke with the Times of London, writing, I want to be 100% clear, the story in the Times of London is entirely false and
Am I losing frames again? What the fuck? Hold on. Hold. Uh-oh. Hi. I might be losing some upload frames. LOL. Lol. Bitrate seemed to have stabilized. Back similar to 6,000. Let's see. Oh, still dropping a significant number. We're holding. While we hold, I wonder if I can make an action that does add name drop network frames. You're on mobile, looks good. Well, that's good. I wonder if it's a transcode thing, maybe. Not sure. I'm definitely dropping. Like if I throw it over here, we're dropping 65-ish% every time I hit the refresh button. Yowza. Okay. Frame? No. Okay, let's just look at OBS actions. OBS Studio. I thought I used to have a bad internet widget too. Let me see. Add browser. Add existing nutty bad internet. I want to see what this is. Oh, are we good now? Hold on. Nope, not good. Why do I not see this thing going? Properties. Oh, I think this is actually now the incorrect place for to send it. Oh, should be fine, technically. Okay, well, while this is still freezing up a bit. Oh, fuck. Log in. There we go. Let's see if this is new. Hey. And it got two-factor on this shit already? What? That sucks. Okay, good. Marker's red. Get that out of here. Okay. Sure. Grab this URL. It's annoying. Web server, browser, index.html. Yeah. That all should be in there. So I'm not sure why that's not working. And still massively losing frames on the upload for having way too high bit rate. I wonder if that means the YouTube stream is dying. Let me see. Sorry, this is boring. Me just clicking around and talking to myself. Lives. Excellent connection on YouTube. Square. Bit rate is lower on... It says it's lower on the... Oh, it's good on that one now. What about my Twitch one? This is good there. Then what the hell is dropping? Well, that's interesting. If all three say they're good, then I guess we're good. I just ignore this? But I've had people before say shit happens when that goes off. Wait, why's my FPS only 40 FPS? Open details in Twitch. Oh, now I'm actually good now. Yeah, why does it say FPS 39? That should... Eh. Oh, we're losing again. I don't like that the Twitch dashboard is saying 39 FPS. According to my OBS window, we're getting 60 FPS, the way we're supposed to. Golly. Wait, why is this 9 out of 10? Speakered up. Well, whatever. I can turn that on. I don't actually use it, but... Okay. Well, I guess we just move on then and just ignore it. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing.
Fabricate. It was just brought to my attention, and I'm appalled. I never spoke to that reporter and never said those things. Those quotes aren't mine, don't reflect my views. With him later adding that he very much supports Mamdani's policies. And so instantly, with people questioning what the hell happened here, right? Why would a pretty well-respected paper with 240 years of history put out something that's just fake? And well, according to them, it's because they were lied to, and they ended up taking the piece down just 2 hours after it was published. And saying they did this after discovering that a reporter had been misled by an individual falsely claiming to be the former New York mayor. Then leading to headlines saying British newspaper duped by someone impersonating former New York City mayor Bill de Blasio. But here's the thing, Bill de Blasio doesn't see it that way. Because it turns out there's just another guy in New York with that name named Bill de Blasio. He's a 59-year-old wine importer from Long Island, and he spoke to Semaphore about this situation. And what he claims is that just some reporter from the Times, they hit him up for his opinion about the race and added, I never once said I was the mayor. He never addressed me as the mayor, so I just gave him my opinion. With him then pointing out I could have corrected him. It was all in good fun. I never thought it would make it to print. And then it's just kind of a fun cherry on top. His criticism of Mamdani's plan wasn't even his own. Instead, he just went to
Oh my God.
GPT to figure out what to write. Well, personally, I wish this isn't where the story ended and it turned out it was actually a third guy named Bill de Blasio who spoke to Semaphore. This unfortunately serves as yet another reminder that you should be skeptical at the first thing that you read, and also everyone in the industry should vet their sources. But then, next up in the news, the cop that shot Sonia Massey was just found guilty for murder, though her family says that's not enough. Because if you don't remember the details, last year, 36-year-old Sonia Massey called 911 in the middle of the
Well, you didn't get first degree, you got second degree, right?
night because she thought someone was lurking outside of her house in Springfield, Illinois. But then, two sheriff's deputies responding, one of them being Sean Grayson. Right, and Grayson and the other deputy, they searched the property, and after not finding anyone, they knocked on the door to talk to Sonia. From there, they went inside, they had a cordial conversation. That is, until Grayson saw a boiling pot of water on the stove, and he asked Sonia to take it off the burner. Right, and that is when the body cam footage shows that things take a turn.
Where you going? Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of
No, I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot!
Right, and from there, I
And she even said that she's.
can't show the footage, but you can find it. Sonia apologizes, ducks down.
I don't want to find that shit, dude.
And that's when Grayson ends up shooting her 3 times. But then afterward, the other deputy trying to give Sonia first aid, but Grayson then also reportedly tells the guy not to bother, that Sonia's injuries were just too severe. Also, I'll say, worth noting here, is that it actually wasn't Grayson's body cam that caught this whole interaction. It was the other deputies. Right, and that because Grayson's wasn't turned on. Also, as far as Sonia here, I feel like it's important to mention that she had been reportedly struggling with some mental health issues in the week.
Also, he did tell her to go pick up the water, and he's like, "Wait, you're holding water?" And you
weeks leading up to her death. And in fact, the day before that she was killed, Sonia's mother called police saying that her daughter was having a mental breakdown and asked police not to hurt her when they responded.
like she even called for help. The people outside her house.
But then with this, after Sonia was killed, there was an investigation into her death by the Illinois State Police and the local state's attorney office. With that investigation then leading to Grayson's indictment, which then led to him being fired, and then just a whole bunch of backlash for the sheriff's office for him being even hired in the first place. Because it turns out, Grayson had a spotty history at best with 2 DUI convictions, one of which led to his discharge from the Army for serious misconduct, as well as a documented history of impulsive decision-making and filing inaccurate reports as a law enforcement officer. And this whole
That sounds like it's the worst possible person to be a law enforcement officer.
situation, it just reignited protests.
A below average person to be a law enforcement officer. There's been a few even worse ones.
Across the country about the way that law enforcement treats Black communities, as well as those having mental health crises. You even had Joe Biden, who was president at the time, saying that Sonia should still be alive. But then with this, you had Grayson's defense successfully getting his trial moved out of Springfield to Peoria, about 70 miles away. That trial, it ended up lasting about a week, with the defense making the case that the shooting was actually justified. When he took the stand in his own defense, you had Grayson reportedly arguing that he was afraid for his safety when Sonia grabbed the pot of water, saying, "In this situation, unfortunately, I matched the threat level." And one of his attorneys adding that what happened to Sonia was, quote, tragic, but it was not a crime. So that is, you have the prosecution arguing that Grayson needlessly escalated the situation by failing to follow any of his training and acting unreasonably. Or with the top prosecutor saying, "We are here because of the actions of the defendant, and Sonia Massey is dead because of the defendant. Send anyone else, anyone, and Sonia Massey is alive." These were not the actions of a scared young police officer doing a dangerous job. These are the actions of a bully. And as far as the charges, Grayson was charged with first-degree murder, but the jury was also given the option of considering a lesser charge of second-degree murder instead, which can apply when a defendant faces a serious provocation or believes that their action is justified even if that belief is unreasonable. And after nearly 12 hours of deliberation, that is what the jury convicted Grayson on. So instead of the 45 years to life in prison that comes with first degree, Grayson is facing up to 20 years. Well, technically, probation is an option under a second-degree murder conviction. You have experts saying it's unlikely in this case. But also, I will say, not off the table. And so as a result, you had an uproar among Sonia's family and her supporters, with her father even calling this a miscarriage of justice. And adding, "Sean Grayson should be able to get out of jail when my daughter can get out of that burial vault and walk out of Oak Hill Cemetery." And Sonia's mom saying, "Anybody who watched the video and thinks that this was partly Sonia's fault is inhumane." And for that,
I agree with that. And it seems like he's had a history with problems and then seems to always just bounce back and not really rehabilitate or get better. Not ever really punished that heavily, right? I do want to believe and do believe in rehabilitation and the ability for people to grow and become better. I know that our current prison system, jail system, is not designed around that at all, and it sort of relishes in the pain and misery that it causes So the chances of him getting out of this jail somehow rehabilitated and not just extra bad or whatever is unlikely. I don't think that the pain that the family's feeling, and then obviously the continued attempts to skirt justice that always happens, like literally just moving the trial to a different location, is an attempt to skirt justice. Like, oh, look, let's go to a different community. Oh, look, we're gerrymandering the fucking jury over in a different section. Oh, what do you know? What kind of, yeah, it's just kind of obscene.
Them to not give him life, and Sonia got life and death. I can't wait until he goes to hell. And you also had Sonia's cousin saying, I'm fueled by rage right now. You get an officer that says he's going to shoot you in the face, and then he shoots you in the face, and you only get second degree? The justice.
I mean, yeah, pretty crazy. Although, this, with like many things, the family is always going to have their opinion on the matter, because how could they not? And that's why theoretically they're never supposed to be involved in the actual thing. Although frequently we've even watched some crime stuff here, just different old, many year old 48 hours specials and stuff. Families are brought in for all kinds of things to make their emotional plea for this, that, and the other. But usually they would be recused. To be allowed to then, have a hand in the judgment is not what should not be it should be agnostic of that, in a sense. Although making sure that people understand the weight and the pain that it has caused is important when deciding specifically certain things. So I guess it's not completely without merit.
Justice system did exactly what it's designed to do today. It's not meant for us. And then, as far as the prosecution, they said that the verdict.
And then there's that side of it, right? Because there's like in a vacuum, what the justice system is supposed to be, what jailing is supposed to be, what innocent, guilty convictions, crime and punishment, people being rewarded or dissuaded from doing certain actions. Then there's reality, which completely fucking sucks all the air out of the room and changes it entirely. Like people joining the police force despite multiple behavioral issues, then killing a person seemingly with some amount of just try me. I can't wait to get my legal kill. Don't even bother. I want to shoot her in the face. Shoot her in the face. Like, even though she's like stopping and was like, oh shit, I was just fucking around, whatever. Like, it's just kind of like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. Like, when she's holding the pot, could you tell her to go and change the pot? And she's like, whatever. All right, fine. You're a piece of shit. And he's like, I'll fucking shoot you. And she's like, oh fuck. All right, Jesus Christ, man. And then he does it. And it's like, that's crazy, dude. You obviously had it out for these people and you were just waiting for a fucking excuse.
Wasn't ideal, but it is a measure of justice. And adding, accountability has begun, and we now hope the court will impose a meaningful sentence that reflects the severity of these crimes and the life that was lost. But I will say it's going to be a while till we know, because the sentencing hearing is actually not scheduled till January. And of course, while we wait to see that, I'd love to know your thoughts, opinions, and reactions here, as well as what you think we're going to see with the sentencing.
I mean, it's nice to see some amount of not innocent, right? But with the way that parole works, and also the lack of his ability to get out, and also his egregious positioning to begin with, 40 seems like maybe it would be better. I don't know, right? Like, the whole point of removing them from society is to remove them from society so they don't cause damage. And then the keeping the time limit short, or to some extent ending, is so that way they can then come out and become beneficial members to society in whatever way they can. But if we don't do a good job of making that person a beneficial member of society, and they've shown to be lethally dangerous, then it's kind of like you just have to let them stay in there until they're harmless. But guns,
Then finally today, I almost feel like I have a guest host because he did such a good job here. This morning, I spoke with Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, for the In Good Faith podcast, which right now it's up. You can get the full hour-long thing. Links in the description. It's a really fantastic episode. We go super
You talking about that fucking robot?
tech, Apple, Tim Cook, AI and jobs. We get personal, we get
I guess not.
YouTube. But what I'm going to include here and today's show on is him walking me through this whole controversy around this new $20,000 in-home robot servant situation.
This is the pitch versus the reality. Okay. So the pitch is there's a 5'6" humanoid robot that lives in your house. And when you leave in the morning, it unplugs itself and gets off the dock and walks around and does your chores. It does the laundry, it does the dishes, it vacuums, it puts stuff away, it finds the remote between the cushions, it puts your keys back where they belong. Like it does everything. It's a nice little helper, and no matter how slow it does it, it's in the background. You're at work. It's doing all of this for you. Immense value, right? The reality is that requires an incredibly complex neural net and a model of your house and knowing all these household objects, and that doesn't exist yet. So there is also the ability for a teleoperator to come in and work through the robot to do these tasks for you, which represents obviously a totally different privacy situation, a totally different comfort level for a lot of people. And oh, by the way, you can give us your money today and pre-order it, and we'll ship the version with the teleoperator now in hopes that maybe someday we'll get to the version that's super advanced that can do it all on its own. So if you're a tech bro, if you're really in the thick of this, if you're on Twitter thinking this is amazing, then you're actually willing to let that teleoperator do the task and hopefully contribute kind of as a beta tester. But if you're a little bit more unplugged, a little bit more of a normal person, you might say, this is an almost unfathomable product that should never be in your house. And what if it falls? And what if it lands on my dog? And what if it creeps out? What if it strangles me? Like, what? There's all kinds of questions people have that you just immediately think like a normal person.
I did think about the strangling angle because somebody's going to strangle somebody.
You're like, this sounds insane.
That is where I'm going to end this video.
Like, how secure is the connection between the operator or some guy in a van outside throwing on a Oculus Quest and then just putting the pillow over your face? You know what I mean?
Though again, much more to watch, just a click away. The full hour of the newest episode of In Good Faith, this one with MKBHD. You can click or tap right here, or I got links in the description. Or
Yeah. All right. Let's get through some of the topics. I had a few different headlines up in here. Venezuela.
Not a conventional dictator. We're facing a narco-terrorist structure that has turned Venezuelan territory, Venezuelan resources, Venezuelan institutions, and have turned them to the activities of a criminal cartel.
And this language you use, narco-terrorism, this is exactly the language that the Trump administration uses.
This is the lady that won the Nobel Peace Prize for being the opposition to the Venezuelan government. Very interesting that won the Peace Prize to be the now leader of the civil war.
Is about Venezuela. And President Trump is saying after the boat strikes, the land will be next. Do you support?
And then there was something about locking down the airspace between now and like March of next year.
Support U.S. military strikes on the territory of Venezuela as part of what you call a process?
I believe that the increase in pressure and the escalation that's taking place is the only way to force Maduro to understand that it's time to go.
That was part of a revealing interview with Venezuelan opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado, discussing how U.S. military intervention may be the only way to remove Venezuelan President Nicolas.
Well, here's your Peace Prize, and also here's your, I don't know, doctrine of war.
Nicolas Maduro from power. The interview comes as the U.S. is reportedly preparing to attack military targets inside Venezuela on land after a series of boat strikes in international waters in the Caribbean.
Series of extrajudicial murders of random fucking fishermen, yeah.
Machado spoke to journalist Michal Hussein on the new podcast that bears her name. It's Bloomberg's latest series that looks to make sense of the world with one essential conversation every weekend. And Michal
Okay, what an ad. Also, CIA?
joins us now. She's also editor-at-large for Bloomberg Weekend. Essential conversation indeed. Give us a few of your takeaways, including very striking right there, a seemingly blessing of attacks on the home soil of her native land.
Yeah. Thank you, Jonathan. I mean, she chose her words carefully, but I think the implications of what she's saying is pretty clear when she talks, as she does to me in this interview for my podcast, about this being the last chance or the last opportunity for Nicolas Maduro to leave Venezuela peacefully, or for that regime to come to an end peacefully. I think what she's really saying is that this is probably a last chance for a movement like hers to really get the United States to act in the way that it has long dreamed of doing. So it's a very timely conversation because she won the Nobel Peace Prize 3 weeks ago now, but since then, the situation between the US and Venezuela has only become more extreme. And let's be in no doubt that that military buildup, which is gathering pace by the day, appears to be the...
I mean, Obama won the Peace Prize, so I don't know. I guess it's just not worth anything. Maybe it's good for, like, I don't know, science, fission, something else, but peace, yeah, it never seems to be all that much peaceful.
Largest in the Caribbean since Noriega in 1989, so we're at a really pivotal moment.
Yeah, an aircraft division is heading that way. It flies in the face of some long campaign promises from President Trump. People forget now, 2016 feels like so long ago, but he was elected in part because of his promise to pull out of Iraq and Afghanistan, to be done with these forever wars, U.S. military intervention. That really struck a lot of people. And yet here we are, potentially on the precipice of at least something in Venezuela. So my question to you is, if this indeed occurs, if there are strikes, if maybe not boots on the ground, but strikes in the Venezuela mainland, how is that going to be received there? What happens?
Well, the CIA has already been authorized to take covert action inside Venezuela. And if you just look at the boat strikes, which have been going on for the last 2 months, and I can see now that there's concern, as you aired today, even from Republican lawmakers on that front. These boat strikes have been incredibly striking. When they began, it looked like they might be a one-off, but the fact that they've continued, that dozens of people have been killed. I'm based in London, and a lot of the conversations that I'm going to have on the Michal Hussein Show podcast are geopolitical conversations. They're about the intersection of America and the rest of the world. And there is concern amongst senior figures in America's allies about the implications of these boat strikes, how little evidence, if any, has been put forward, how there's little else other than this grainy footage that is released, and the implications for that, because such strikes conducted in different parts of the world have generally been done on the basis of there being an imminent threat. And in this context, while of course the administration talks about the ongoing
I don't know if it's just the way that she's phrasing everything and the way that, just the British accent, but it just sounds like the lightest condemnation of the situation at hand and just letting it all go forward. And then she had a fucking podcast with the lady.
Narco-terrorism, in their words. It's very hard to see what the imminent threat posed by those boats in the Caribbean might be. So I think they have very serious implications for America.
I also did spend 8 hours video editing last night, and then a few hours talking and hanging out with Kara, and then starting the stream. And then, so the frontal lobe is a little numb and itchy, but, come on, lady, have some fucking pep in your step. I'm trying to have some pep in my step.
As allies, as well as for the United States.
Let's talk about our priorities. We have a threat potentially on Taiwan. We just don't know, because Biden...
Bro, how many times have you talked about the potential threat to Taiwan? What the fuck?
You said, well, all go in there and defend it. The Americans go fight on the beaches of Taiwan to protect that country's, in effect, independence. We have a...
No thanks.
A threat to Europe, a direct threat to Europe, and they feel it Very close. Moscow's not that far away. And now we're saying, let's go fight with Maduro. Is it worth
It's pretty close to about as far as you can get, other than literally exact opposite side.
Worth it?
Well, look, as far as Ukraine's concerned, I think we've seen over so many months Keir Starmer and others in Europe trying to move President Trump closer to where the Europeans would like him to be on that. But I think in terms of the choices President Trump has made so far, in where he has chosen to exercise power, or as in the case of Venezuela, what he may or may not be building up to, I think from elsewhere in the world, there's also the perspective that he has chosen Venezuela and Iran, and these are very different, much easier targets in many ways to destabilize than China or Russia.
In other words, bite-sized wars.
All right, then Michal.
Bite-sized wars. What is that, man? Do you want a war with China? What? Do you want a war with Russia?
Hussein Show available now. We should note, in addition to the episode from which we just played an excerpt, we also spoke to Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. So some very impressive guests to get you going. Michelle, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Okay, this is just an ad for her podcast. What the fuck? All right. There was a terror attack in Michigan. Yeah, there's no stories about that air. I mean, maybe there's like some articles, but there was no stories about the air being shut down. Patel says FBI stops potential terror attack in Michigan. When I first saw this, I'm like, Patel, incompetence, right? But let's see.
All right, let's start with some breaking news out of Michigan, where FBI Director Kash Patel says federal authorities have stopped a potential terror attack. Police in Dearborn say arrests have been made.
It's crazy considering like all the agents should be fucking out to being ICE for a while. The majority of the fucking places. Every law enforcement department, fucking even the post office, has somewhere around half-ish, whatever, right? I forget when and where I saw that figure. Maybe things have adjusted, but
CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarland.
because sometimes these are just honeypots, right? Sometimes these are just like people feeding a bunch of like, don't worry, kid, we'll sell some tannerite to you or whatever. Haha, we caught you, sort of situations. Just that's what I've heard as a criticism in the past. So let's see. Also, looking for an easy W right now to make themselves look like they're not completely incompetent.
But is watching this. So, Scott, what are you hearing?
We've heard from the FBI in their Detroit field office, been talking to some of our sources in Southeast Michigan. The FBI director's public statement really is the only public statement so far, that there have been arrests for a
exactly, right?
Suspected terror attack, and those arrests were made this morning in Dearborn, Michigan. We have a live picture.
In Dearborn, one of the highest Muslim populations in America. Oh, interesting.
A neighborhood in Dearborn where we've seen law enforcement earlier in the day, and the FBI field office in Detroit tells me they did have law enforcement positioned in that area, in the Dearborn area earlier today. There's no charging document that's been public or made unsealed in this case, so we don't have specifics on the allegations here, but the FBI director,
some little house,
connecting this to terror is certainly noteworthy. We'll see what connections it has once these case filings are released in the Eastern District of Michigan. That's the Detroit area at some point today. But Vlad, the details are few. Local law enforcement's not giving us anything in addition to what the FBI director says. I could tell you from experience covering the FBI, covering the Department of Justice, this is not a customary sequence of events. So you don't usually have the FBI director announcing a case without having coordinated with local law enforcement.
It was like a day ago, 24 hours ago-ish.
Enforcement, or having them ready to supplement the information.
Let's see if there's a more updated story. Halloween weekend. These are all the same day.
We want to get to some developing news right now of a terror attack thwarted in the state of Michigan. So you see the FBI there at that house. They say they made several arrests right outside of Detroit. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed a raid in a post on X this morning, saying this morning the FBI thwarted a potential terror attack and arrested multiple subjects in Michigan who were allegedly plotting a violent attack over Halloween weekend. More details to come. So Dearborn police, where this happened, also confirmed the FBI had conducted operations in the city, but they say there's no threat to the community at this time. In fact, they posted this to Facebook. The Dearborn Police Department has been made aware that the FBI conducted operations in the city of Dearborn earlier this morning. We want to assure our residents that there is no threat to the community at this time. Here's the latest from our station on the scene in Michigan.
Well, Veronica, the FBI is still inside this home on Horger Street. This is directly across the street from Fordson High School. They've been going in and out of this home all day. They're currently searching cars in the driveway. Now, CBS has confirmed there were 5 individuals arrested between the ages of 16 and 20, between 3 houses, 2 in Dearborn, 1 in Inkster. Now, sources say it was an ISIS-inspired group that was planning a Halloween attack. According to our sources, the teens had automatic weapons and were surveilled going to gun ranges and even had surveilled Cedar Point in Ohio for a potential attack there. Again, Dearborn Police and Inkster PD have confirmed the FBI raids there. 2 locations in Dearborn, 1 in Inkster. The Dearborn School District also confirmed they were made aware of the situation prior to it happening. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel posted to the social media platform X this statement that reads, quote, "This morning the FBI
ISIS-inspired automatic weapons going to Ohio, but they're not saying anything about it. They're not showing arrests. They're not pointing to brown children. But ISIS-inspired. What the fuck? Nothing unsealed.
Thwarted a potential terrorist attack and arrested multiple subjects in Michigan who were allegedly plotting a
Man, their fucking packets are dropping.
Violent attack over Halloween weekend. More details to come, thanks to the men and women of the FBI and law enforcement everywhere standing guard 24/7 and crushing our mission to defend the homeland, end quote. Right now.
Is it? Oh, that's from Kash Patel. I'm like, when has an FBI statement ever been like, oh, wait, rest easy, brother. You'll be in Valhalla soon, or we're on watch now, kind of bullshit.
Now we have learned the suspects could be arraigned this afternoon. But again, right now, the FBI says there is currently no threat to the public. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Gino, for that live report. Continuing our team coverage this afternoon is Jack Springate, who is live outside the federal courthouse in Detroit with more. Jack.
Well, Veronica, the big question we're looking to get answers to right now are the identities of some of the people who were arrested earlier this morning in those FBI raids. And like Gino said, we're expecting some arraignments for one or a couple of these suspects at around 1 o'clock or 1:30.
They were children.
So we'll be bringing those details to y'all online as soon as we learn some of those. But there are a lot of other questions that we've been learning and getting answers to over the last
Like, what are the chances these are just a bunch of kick streamers, honestly?
hour even. You heard Gino talk about some of the people involved and exactly what the FBI alleges that they were planning. Now, one of the things that we also learned about why they're saying this was an ISIS-inspired.
I was going to say, the ISIS-inspired could be just, like, because they're going to wear fucking masks or something crazy, right? Like, I was like, let's see what they're going to say about it specifically. Like, oh, they played the terrorist team in Counter-Strike Go. Therefore, this is ISIS-inspired. You know, like,
group. What really put this investigation on their radar was after members of the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force uncovered a plot as 2 teens were online in an ISIS chat room, and that's where they were talking about these plans that Gino was mentioning, and that's what prompted this morning's FBI.
Okay, this is definitely feeling like one of those. What the fuck is an ISIS chat room in this regard? Is it one of the honeypot ones that the FBI sets up, like for Fed posting stuff? what it seems like, because they just so happened to catch it the moment it was posted. You mean like the one that they set up? Is what it sounds like.
FBI operation and those raids in Dearborn as well as in Inkster. So hopefully around 1 or 1:30 we may be able to get some more information just about what tipped off police
It must have
even
been
more.
yesterday.
Again, those arraignments expected to happen around 1 or 1:30, but this is really quite an unexpected way to start a Halloween.
2 dead after being found in flooded basement during severe storm. Oh my god. I guess when there's millions of people in one place, it's an old city, but Jesus Christ, just rain can flood a basement to the point you drown in it.
Morning, and we spoke to some neighbors just about how they were feeling seeing the FBI's presence in their neighborhood.
Those gotta be Cuomo voters, right? Let's be real.
This is really, from being such a quiet neighborhood and a very nice neighborhood. There's no animosity in this neighborhood. I am not of Arab background. My husband is. I mean, we all get along.
What? Okay. I mean, sure.
This is very new and scary to me.
And this was quite the coordinated effort we're learning this morning, as well as not just, members of the FBI and Michigan State Police were on scene. This involved
Gotta hate the fucking bit rate. He looks so fucking fuzzy.
the FBI hostage rescue team, along with SWAT teams from Cleveland, Chicago, of course, Detroit, Minneapolis, as well as
This CBS News port is always just like fucking SD.
Cincinnati. I'll be bringing you details up to the minute from the courthouse here as we learn more information coming from these arraignments this afternoon. But for now, reporting in downtown Detroit, I'm Jack Springate, CBS News Detroit.
All right, so let's go to CBS News Justice reporter Jake Rosen following these developments from
And same thing with this big green screen room, and also looks like shit.
Washington. Jake, what are you learning?
Well, Reed, like our colleagues in Detroit said, it appears that 5 people
Okay, the audio guy also put it down a little bit, but
between the ages of 16 years old, so obviously some minors involved in this, and 20 years old were arrested today across Dearborn and a couple other cities and towns neighboring that.
Oh, they weren't all in Dearborn, huh? Very interesting to then specifically only target that one in the headline.
For potentially plotting, or at least talking about plotting, a terror attack.
Talking about plotting. Hold on, we're walking many steps back now.
Attack in the coming days and weeks. How much of that plot was actually concrete, and how much had actually been planned out? Our sources at CBS News have not been able to tell us much. It's very apparently, according to at least some sources, that there really was no full concrete plan for this attack, but at the same time, the FBI clearly had been monitoring certain individuals. Specifically, it appears like 2 teens who were in an ISIS-related or affiliated online chat room. At the same time, Reed, we know that potentially there could be court documents filed today. It's certainly possible that this is not filed and these cases are not actually built until over the weekend into Monday.
Very, very interesting. Oh, this is a different story. Why did this one get pulled up? Well, I guess we did the paperwork first, so ICE or did I spell fascist correctly? Am I a fucking idiot? I mean, the answer is yes. I am an idiot. I did not spell it correctly. Thank you. FASC. There we go. I kind of just read a word real fast and move on. Fascists. All right. Zoop. Enlarge. We asked DHS if federal agents wore horror masks on raids. They responded, "Happy Halloween." Wait, shouldn't that have a quote at the end of it with the same little quote here? LA Taco. We like LA Taco, so they have fun while doing it, which is deeply disturbing. We expect some level of decorum from government officials, says Phoebe, a member of the Harbor Area Peace Patrols, who snapped a photo of the masked agents driving out of San Pedro on Tuesday morning. That's like a Japanese thing mask, and that's Chucky. Individuals wearing Halloween masks were observed by Harbor Area Peace Patrollers as they were leaving Terminal Island on Tuesday morning. This is the same area where DHS has been staging since immigration raids started. LA Taco requested comment from the Department of Homeland Security on the use of Halloween masks by these federal immigration agents. The following comment, Assistant Homeland Security Public Affairs, was received by LA Taco. Happy Halloween. Yeah, I mean, look at this. And then they responded, Happy Halloween. They said, like, were they really wearing masks like this? That's just so gross. Like, they got gross little groypers memeing. And also, they're a bunch of, DUI fucking abusing. They have a lot of platinum tattoos, and they don't even pretend to not know what they are. You know what I'm saying? At 7:23 Tuesday, individual wearing a Chucky mask was seen in the backseat of unmarked vehicle. Observation was made. Other individuals in the vehicle were masked and tactical gear. Yep, classic. A Momo mask was seen driving another unmarked cargo van. A little later the same day. Probably should put a space there. Creepy chicken lady character. The Momo challenge. That's right. To take violent actions. Only an internet hoax. Yeah, that's classic. They were laughing as they were heading out. They have fun while doing it, which is deeply disturbing. Seeing the agents in Halloween masks felt different than the behavior she's seen wearing masks that they normally wear to be anonymous, but even that should not be fucking allowed. Wanting to be seen, rolling down their window. Yeah. Just a lot of the same. This is a long, oh my God, this is such a long article. Okay. They need to have an editor. Let's see. Now we can see, now that we've been set up with it, we can see the Pritzker accuses ICE of terrorizing kids. Accuses. As if it's not actually doing that. All right.
And Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker wants to make sure nothing.
And these are not so much linked to give like Fox News some views, whatever it is, but they're just sort of put in for completion's sake, and also they're all logged in the Discord, like the messages is.
Gets in the way of his trick-or-treating today. He's demanding DHS pause all ICE raids throughout the weekend so kids can have a Halloween without fear.
That sounds nice. How about you just say pause permanently?
Letter to Kristi Noem and to the Department of Homeland Security leadership, asking them to pause all of their federal agent operations for the entirety of the holiday.
Like we're asking for a ceasefire for the holiday, as if we're fucking being bombed by Israel.
Halloween weekend. I'm asking for basic human decency. Give the children and the families of Illinois a break. Don't believe it when they tell you that they're busting the worst of the worst gangs or gang members. They're attacking peaceful neighborhoods and terrorizing kids in Halloween parades.
Nice try, pork chop, but it's not happening. Nothing is going to stop DHS from getting criminal.
Whoa, going like nothing's gonna stop them, right? Like you're not even the person at hand being asked. So you just being like drooling, saying nothing's gonna stop them. Like you're not even the one in power. You're just fucking watching from the sidelines, but just with a smile on your face. Also calling them pork chop. You don't sound cool because you're just a little drooling freak from the sidelines. You're too openly happy for what everyone sees as a disgusting thing.
All aliens off the streets.
We're going to be out on the streets in full force and increase our activities to make sure kids are safe. We're going to be out there to make sure that they can be safe, enjoy the holidays, spend some time with their families.
Are you going to like fucking arrest people for wearing masks on Halloween now too?
And their neighbors and their communities, and they don't have to be the victim of a crime because of these illegal aliens that are in our country.
What crimes are being committed on Halloween in years past with all of these illegals that statistically commit less crimes than a normal American citizen? Normal, air quotes, because they're as normal, if not more normal, than the average American citizen.
Optimizing them.
Here to discuss, Jonathan Fahey, former acting ICE director, former federal prosecutor. Jonathan, first of all, I didn't.
Wow, piece of shit. Wow. He kind of looks like a piece of shit, so it makes sense. God, what does he look like? It's like one of those penguins from Madagascar, but like evil.
I didn't realize Halloween was now a weekend. Now it goes from Thursday all the way through Sunday, maybe Monday. But that's beside the point. Why is Pritzker always looking for a way to shield illegal aliens from their rightful judgment?
Holy shit. You gotta wipe the drool off your face. You're too fucking hungry for it. Have you not been satiated yet?
Deportation orders acted upon by the federal government. What is it with him and the illegals?
He wants to be president, and he knows the only way to be president is being for open borders and mass amnesty. And
Because that's what Biden and Harris said. I mean, that's what Reagan said, right? You guys like Reagan.
what he's doing is so appallingly cynical, and it's sort of a standard ploy the Democrats do, is they malign ICE agents by suggesting they're out there arresting trick-or-treaters and going into schools so that everyone will be hostile to ICE agents, when in fact these agents are putting their lives on the line to make all of us safer. But it's
Yeah, clearly. They're out there driving their children drunk in their trucks. In my home state of Florida, they're out there brutalizing citizens, dragging children out naked in the streets, zip tying them. Citizens. They're deporting some of the best citizens we have. Green card holders, people, work, student visas, etc. People who are just going through the actual legal ways to get through this fucking immigration system that we have made extra Byzantine for no reason. They collude with fucked ass judges and tell them to dismiss the case, or the prosecutors, I guess, dismiss the case. Just say, never mind, we're going to stop. And then boom, now they're naked and exposed and immediately get grabbed in the hallway. How is that? These are people who are showing up to their pre-scheduled court hearings to get themselves through the process that you say you fucking appreciate. God, I hate them so much.
all politics with him, and he's willing to put the safety of his citizens, the safety of the United States citizens at risk so that he can make his political point and hopefully elevate himself with the Democratic Party. But it's so cynical. And yeah, the holiday, we now have a Halloween weekend that they can't do the job. But to think about, ICE should maybe not arrest a rapist.
Why wouldn't the cops arrest the rapist? Why does ICE have to arrest the rapist? What the fuck does that mean? The cops were like, ah, that's the rapist, but oof, sorry, he has to be a citizen for me to arrest that rapist. What the fuck are you talking about? The only thing I could possibly, and of course that's not going to be what it is, but the only thing I could possibly think of is like a person who had been convicted of rape and then done their time and then gotten out and then now is then deciding to be deported because of their past crimes. Again, not the case whatsoever.
A child molester or a murderer this weekend because they might want to trick or treat in Chicago is utterly absurd. It should be offensive and it should be transparent.
But also, the request is because you and we all know that you're not actually doing that. You're grabbing day laborers outside of a Home Depot, going into restaurants and storming the back of it. These are people holding down steady work with families. These are not rapists and drug dealers and whatever the fuck else you just said.
To everyone what
he child molesters
in fact is doing.
Well, an alderman in Chicago, Jonathan, says that residents in one area received approval to close off 2 blocks to create a safe area for trick-or-treaters.
Well, you know, cars are pretty dangerous and kids are walking around at night in sometimes dark clothing. Isn't that pretty normal?
They are actually letting this happen. This is, I mean, so they're saying, oh, it's for the trick-or-treaters, but it's really a safe zone for illegal alien criminals.
Because they don't want, because how many car accidents has ICE caused because they're a bunch of jacked up fucking morons, half drunk, revving their fucking blacked out SUVs all over the place. They hit somebody, then they get out and say, that's it, you're under arrest, and they drag them out of the car, because otherwise they're going to be in trouble for hitting a civilian. But if they say, you're an illegal, and no due process, just fucking process it as fast as possible, just push it through. Oh, you don't have your paperwork on you. Now you're in trouble for not having paperwork on you.
That's what they're creating a safe zone for. Just go out with your kids trick-or-treating like you always do. What's the problem?
Yeah, the message should be, if he was a responsible governor, should be, if you're here legally, go out and trick-or-treat and have fun and let the federal government arrest these criminals that shouldn't be in our country. But
okay, they're just saying the same bullshit. There's nothing new here. They suck ass. All right. Let's see. Let's do the Obama and the governor races thing. I'm just sick of fucking listening to those scumbags talk. What the hell? I think I clicked the wrong thing, but I think we're good. Yes.
We need a governor who has a plan to strengthen and steady our economy at this time where so much chaos is being thrust upon us.
So this is the person running in Virginia? I guess Virginia, because that's the things behind it. I was going to say New Jersey. I remember looking up a couple of the governor's races. Pretty sure we're leading in all of them?
And we can set...
As in not Republicans.
An example for the rest of the country. When we win...
I don't know enough about... I mean, if Obama's coming out of the woodwork, then this has got to be quite the fucking progressive. Noticing that Obama did not come out of retirement to help Zoran at all. A hope and change candidate. Huh. Weird. Weird not to come out to help that. Weird.
On Tuesday...
With roughly 100 hours until polls close in New York, New Jersey, and Virginia, candidates are pulling out all the stops. And for Abigail Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill, that means getting former President Barack Obama to join them on the campaign trail this weekend. Tuesday's election will be another referendum on Trump's presidency and an opportunity for Democrats to try and boost momentum after 2024. Also, some Democrats rumored to be thinking about a 2028 presidential run are taking the opportunity.
Maybe I can jump into a meat grinder. Maybe that'll make the pain go away. Holy fuck, dude.
To boost enthusiasm for themselves. At least half a dozen of them.
Do they think Bernie's going to run? That's crazy.
Have campaigned in both New Jersey and Virginia.
Notice, not. No Bernie there.
Daniel is one of those.
Ew, what the fuck is Gretchen Whitmer acting like she's not disgusting now? She was there at the fucking, Trump thing. She saw the fucking wave of power shift slightly and immediately sold her soul. Buttigieg. Another disgusting fuck. Ro Khanna's always kind of weird. Mark Kelly. Bashir, where you been, dog? Oh, you've been blending into the fucking white background like you've been doing before.
Democrats and joins our panel now. He's a CNN senior political and global affairs commentator, also a former mayor of Chicago.
These are all people that are going to drop out in the first, 33% of the fucking primary race.
We should note on the
Although probably Buttigieg might try to stick it out a bit longer, but
left side of your screen, you're going to see our Arena text chain. That's where we're sharing additional analysis from a few of our top reporters and contributors. Ram, thank you for joining us. I wonder how much you...
What if Carner is going to be on there, CNN contributor? That'd be awesome if Carner was over there contributing.
See Tuesday as a referendum from voters on Donald Trump.
It's 100%. It's a referendum. Let me say it this way. It's 90% a referendum. I'll recorrect.
What the hell? The View from New York City, their candidates have retreated to their respective corners. Do they mean the other teams that have been not actually coming out and showing support, you mean? Or do they mean the two Democrats running in New York City? I'm not sure what they mean by this. It could be lambasting the centrist Dems, or it could be, I don't know, just saying nothing. It tells you doesn't think the new faces are much help. Doesn't think the new faces are much help. Oh, you mean all those little faces. I see.
Myself on Donald Trump and maybe 10% on the governor that's sitting in the office right now. And there's a lot going on in both states. You have major federal employees that are been furloughed and are unemployed right now, and that's going to impact Virginia, over 100,000. You have infrastructure projects, the tunnels and stuff, that have been canceled in New Jersey to New York because of the government.
Hey, nice job getting out there at the graveyard shift. Hell yeah, represent late nights.
Shut down, and so in both states, they have been impacted.
Although today I'm a morning shift person, which is crazy. I was just working all night.
So Donald Trump, whether his name is directly on the ballot, his stewardship is on the ballot, and it will impact the rest of his presidency.
Our Isaac Dovera's new reporting.
Oh, God.
Out about former President Obama's stepped up plans to fight back against Trump. And he writes, quote, he senses the politics of his party may be leaving him behind, but also wonders if the Democratic Party's problems are so deep that it needs his help to steer it back to.
No. He would stick his finger in the pie just to fuck it, just to ruin it from time to time. And we don't need him doing that shit anymore. There's a bunch of rumors about your fucking marriage falling apart. Just go deal with that, man. Go do your podcasts and just go live your fucking life like you want to do. Please ruin your legacy and do this shit. If you're actually going to go for it, then you're going to fuck it up, man. Because everyone pretends like you were fucking good. So, remind us, now that we all fucking pay attention now, how fucking dog shit you were.
Relevance. Do you see the Democratic Party needing President Obama to steer it back to relevance?
Well, I think President Obama, I haven't talked to him, but like all of us who've put our name on the ballot, there's nothing like winning.
Ridiculous. Yeah, they're really rooting for him. They think it's, cope. Mega cope. They're fucking crying. Drooling at the possibility of having anything close to the charisma and actual connection with people like he has. They're not actually rooting for Mamdani. You know that.
In 2024 was obviously not only a loss.
Because they would be coming out and saying a bunch of fuck shit about Cuomo being gross and then just leaving it fucking silent. But instead, they're just saying the most Islamophobic shit ad nauseum. So, Brad Todd, you're fucking dumb. You've huffed your own farts for too long, whoever the fuck you are.
Also, a devastation, given also the consequences you've seen. But if you not only win in...
I'm just roasting their chat more than even... I don't have a very active chat of my own, so... Now I'm the one fucking hating and waiting at the table of success of CNN.
New Jersey, not only win in Virginia, but also win Proposition 50 in California. You got 3 Supreme Court races in Pennsylvania. You have the New York City mayor's race. You have some elections out on Long Island. Winning gives you not only momentum, it will tell you a lot about where the electorate's mind is.
And that's going to happen one way or the other, right? They're going to say there is a Muslim in New York, or they tried to put a Muslim in New York. They're going to say it either way.
Where the independent swing voters are going to be, how they're going to break. And it also helps you in recruitment. You have some races for the Congress.
You fucking piece of shit. I fucking hate you, Van Jones. Are you going to go ahead and cry again? Go cry.
And other races that still don't have candidates, if they're sitting on the fence and all of a sudden the Democrats have a great night, that tips the scales, and I've seen it firsthand myself.
Looking at the latest polls...
And I think...
go ahead.
Yeah. Go. No, I would say one other thing that will also happen, if the Democrats do as well as I think they will, you will see the government shutdown come to a pretty quick conclusion right after that. Elections have consequences, and people will realize this is not working. I think that will be particularly on the Republicans, and they will look for a solution with due speed.
One of many angles to look at. So you have 2 somewhat different, very different Democrats running on Tuesday night. Both of them, though, leading their races by double digits. Zoran Mamdani in New York, Abigail Spanberger in Virginia. What lessons do you think Democrats can take from both candidates, and what do you think that having both of them on the ballot means for the party more broadly?
Yeah, I think I would switch it a little, Boris, in this sense. All 3 candidates are putting cost of living and affordability front and center.
Don't be stealing his steez. Let's get it, Gloria. Fucking bring it back.
Now, all 3 candidates have different solutions to how to address that cost of living, but the issue of what is affecting families, their ability to afford their standard of living, ability to pay for their kids' education, ability to basically not just achieve a middle class and an American dream, but not constantly struggle to retain it, is on the ballot. And they're speaking.
Hell yeah. Yeah. See, all you need to do is hear my boy. Well, hear the boy. I'm not going to pretend that me barely doing one canvas is anywhere close to earning anything, obviously. But he's my boy in my heart. I've picked him as my boy. I'm technically older than him, so they take that. Because when you hear him speak, you're like, oh shit, this guy's awesome. Even when you like think of him as like a negative, you look at him and you go, oh, that's actually pretty fucking awesome. He seems pretty fucking genuine. The closest thing I could think is a little uncanny is when he sort of has to do like a bit of a smile because he can't show sadness and anger when people are spitting obscene racist shit at him, like from the debate stage, when he has to stand there and just smile and be like, okay, just eat it another day, you know? That's the only time it sort of feels a little weird because it's just, it feels wrong to just stand there and take that shit and not just go, what the fuck? How could you? I'm walking out of here. But if he did that, then he's weak and he's a snowflake or he's aggressive and a mad and angry Muslim or whatever. Like that would all come down hard. So he has to do that one thing. But when he goes to a facility to talk to people, that's different. He'll be able to look them in the eye and talk to them like a person.
To that, and they understand it because it's front and center to the public. Therefore, it's front and center of your campaign. Now, how they address that, what are their policy positions on housing, healthcare costs, saving for your kids' education or your retirement, that's going to change, and because the economies in each of the cities or states is very different.
Ram, please stand by. Lulu, to you, back to the question of Obama on the campaign trail. As Isaac Dover points out,
please, Brad Todd, tell me how Mamdani could become a lightning rod. How he could be. He can be. Well, if he does what I think is right for him, he could. If he says more fucking centrist shit. If he says he'll go and kiss Israel.
a child born the day before Obama was elected is now old enough to vote. I mean, how difficult is it for the party to rely on someone like Obama to steer them toward the future and try to win elections, when in many ways he doesn't exactly represent where the energy in the party is right now, given Zoran Mamdani and Bernie Sanders and AOC on their oligarchy tour?
So first of all, wait a minute.
He's like, come on, Cuomo, make better ads. Come on, Cuomo, come on. Stop. You're so gross. Oh my God, you're evil. Stop. I want you to beat Mamdani, says Van Jones. See, the problem is Zoran's not left enough. He was a Maoist third worldist at one point. Secretly, it's coming back out, and he's like, what? You said cops play an important role? Disgusting. Get him out of here. I need Cuomo to come in.
Make me feel old.
Was not my intent.
Yeah, so yay you. And
I mean, being a woman in television would be tough, I guess, because of the patriarchy, etc. But I guess she's just joking. She's just joking.
And that's actually the problem, right? Because Obama is of a different era. And in the interim, what he has been doing is Netflix deals. His wife has a lovely podcast. She's now got a book out about her outfits. I mean, they have become
I haven't really seen them together so much anymore. Interesting.
Sort of influencers, if you will, and they haven't been in the political arena, I think, in the same way. And so while he still has star power and star wattage, that is not the future of the party. The Democratic Party needs to figure out what it is going to be. And, everyone can identify what the problems are in this country. We know affordability is the problem. We know that healthcare is the problem. We know that jobs are increasingly a problem. How do you deal with that? How do you resolve those issues? And what I continue
Socialism.
hear, and we heard it earlier in the program,
Or democratic socialism. We can start out small.
Here from Hakeem Jeffries, is Trump. And that only gets you so far, I think.
What? When have you heard Hakeem Jeffries say Trump other than Trump's too powerful, I can't do anything? So he sits on his hands and shoves them so far up his ass, he's going to give himself a goddamn colonoscopy. What do you mean you've heard him say Trump? What?
Jonah?
Yeah, I think we put a little too much emphasis.
If Mamdani wins, his army of volunteers will stick around to push the city council. Yeah. Crusade. Interesting choice of words there.
On Mamdani, I get it. He's catnip. He's charismatic. He's interesting. Bernie Sanders and AOC, they're not being invited to campaign in Virginia. They're not being invited to campaign in New Jersey. The coalition that is going to get Mamdani elected in New York is young and activist and left-wing, a lot of barista socialists and whatnot, and that's fine.
I've never heard of that term before. What does that mean? That sounds like it's a derogatory.
Fine. But, Harris carried, as Brad Todd was saying in our chat thing, Harris carried Virginia and New Jersey by 6 points.
New Jersey, one of the bluest states we've ever had in general. 6-point lead. It's like saying you won California by 6. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the margin's different, but like, bro, she sucked. She lost like all the swing states. What the fuck, man? You're gonna be like, oh, see, they gotta really bend the knee to the to the fucking lightning rod that was Kamala's run.
And that's a good number to look at about how much of this is going to be a referendum on Trump, is like how much do they overperform that?
But they are also the fucking boring centrist ones that don't have the fucking pull. God, it fucking pisses me off so goddamn hard that the Democratic Party is like, I don't know, maybe Cuomo wants to stay in it. Like, they should be like, we are Democrats. They won the primary. You fucking lost. Get the fuck out of here. If you run as an independent, your name is goddamn mud and anything. And if you ever have any fucking bigger, if you ever got hungry eyes for anything else that exists out there, you should fucking stand down. Like, you'll never be allowed to run for anything with a D next to it. We will fight against you, right? The fact that he could come out there as a disgraced governor and then say, you know what, vote blue no matter who, but, maybe not him, though. Maybe me, even though I lost already in a fair fucking fight. Not even like a fucking Obama comes in to like coalesce the opposition against you. Not even like, winning the fucking most votes, but then still somehow losing the primary like Bernie did, right? In certain spots or whatever. The media machine is constantly against you all the way anyway. A permanent crusade by a socialist with a bunch of spoiled laptop warriors is a bad term for Democrats nationwide. Brad, are you a Republican? What do you mean spoiled laptop warriors? I mean, the largest canvassing group, people getting out there, putting fucking shoe leather to ground, putting the work in. What do you mean spoiled laptop warriors, making like they're not actually having any kind of ground game? I mean, like they're not actually, like, nobody knew who his fucking name was. Half the people on the panel can't even fucking pronounce it, and then he won by an extreme margin on the first round of the fucking primary. Well, I think may have technically gone to the second round, but whatever, man. Like, got more votes than fucking Eric Adams did in the first round than he did the entire thing. Get him out. Cope should never be allowed to fucking talk in these fucking panels again. Completely dejected and minimizes the power that they have. Disgusting.
You're going to be watching this closely, I imagine.
Of course. Oh.
It's almost as infuriating as watching the Fox News shit, but they're pure evil. They're willingly changing the truth. These are unwillingly unable to see the truth. Because it would hurt them too much to realize that they're fucking wrong.
Ron.
Oh, Ron?
No, I think Jonah makes a point is, I would kind of disagree with the assumption that all the energy is quote unquote on the left. And just take a look at the New Jersey primary. There were 6 candidates.
That's a safe attack. I would have gone after the fucking laptop element and talk about the ground game, but you know what? That's safe.
Yeah, the mayor of Newark, the mayor of Jersey City, the president of the teachers union, and the most conservative candidate gets over 30% of the vote in a 6-way race. Yeah. That was also true in the Virginia congressional race. So this idea that the energy is quote unquote just on the left doesn't reflect where primaries to date since 2024 have been. I get, as Jonas says, catnip. The other thing is, if you look at Bill Clinton, you look at Barack Obama, while different candidates, different points in time in history, they both follow, obviously, Republican leadership, and they both show a similar campaign strategy on the cultural side and the economic side.
I don't know enough about the Virginia one, but I'm basically going to go off of the idea that Brad is such a fucking moron that it's probably the exact opposite of what he's saying here.
And then Democrats disparage them, and then they go to the desert for X years, and then they have to come back and relearn the same lesson of how you win national elections by being right down the center with, not only mean just ideologically, but with the American people on both the values that make up their family life and also the values that surround the economic strategy to put the middle class at dead center of your priorities.
Can I just say something? Ram, the only thing I'll say about that is of course you're right.
I like coal and solar, says Brad Todd.
That the center actually is
why don't we just
where
stop
for
there?
Democrats, no, but where Democrats, no, but of course you're right that the center is nationally where Democrats need to be. But the problem
Puke, 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 puke.
here is that the messaging that the Democrats are giving isn't inspiring people. It isn't connecting with the average voter. And so that
M-spotted. M-spotted.
message of like, oh, we've got to pivot to the middle, it isn't really resonating.
Well, I respectfully I disagree with that.
Everybody wants to chime in, but we're really short on time, and the producers have been like telling me like we gotta wrap.
Let me just say really quickly. I mean, look, I think that the big difference to keep in mind here is that New York City is a municipal election with ranked choice voting, and yes, Mamdani is exciting a whole generation of younger voters, and that's something that Democrats as a whole are going to have to take into account going into 2026 and 2028. But to Ram's point, when you're looking at Virginia and New Jersey, these are totally different races. These are national security soccer moms who are dominating, who are both going to win those races. We have a Big Tent, and that's emblematic in what you're saying.
Show me the soccer mom that was fucking telling that pant shitter from Toilet Paper USA or whatever that she was happy that Charlie Kirk was dead and maybe she should die too. Show me that soccer mom. Show me that gray-haired lady out there. CNN, this panel couldn't be more fucking disconnected and stuck in the past. And it was a losing message in the past as well, but they're just stuck with that same one.
At the risk of getting beat up, because we only have like 10 seconds. Michael,
2026. Just really quick.
2026
if you look at how close the gubernatorial race has gotten in Virginia, you're talking about 1 point within the margin of error. I'm not necessarily certain this is a rebuke on Donald Trump, as it is more so a state flipping back.
Yeah, it's not good for you, Todd.
Back to Democratic control at a state that I reside in.
Kablam. What is this? Okay, so this is about New Jersey, where they stand right now.
So the latest Fox News poll in New Jersey.
Oh, this one's quick.
Has Democratic nominee Mikey Sherrill with a lead over Republican Jack Ciattarelli that's just outside the margin of error. National correspondent Brian Yennis is following that race.
Oh, it has grown, I guess, according to your own poll.
For us tonight. Good evening, Brian.
Shannon, good evening. Republican Jack Ciattarelli voted early today in person, and he's encouraging supporters.
In person? Well, usually people running will vote in person because it's not much of a photo op, and they're like in their underwear putting mail in the mailbox, like, huh? Oh, yeah. Hey.
To do so as well. This is Ciattarelli's third time running for governor, but the first time he's running as a pro-Trump candidate. Back in 2021, polls had him down double digits going into Election Day.
Wow, he's got no convictions and a loser. Wow.
He lost by just 3 points. This time, he says the energy is different.
The most important factor is there's a lot less indifference this time around. Back in 21, I had too many people inside New Jersey, including Republicans, and people around the country didn't think I had a shot in hell. They now know differently because of our performance in 21.
Hey, I lost in 21, but I didn't lose by as much as I am down at the polls now. So that means I got room to grow.
A new Fox poll finds 64%.
What is this picture? They use this picture all the time. They love it. Makes him look old as fuck.
Percent of supporters for Democrat Mikey Sherrill are voting in part to express
Cheryl supporters, 1%. That's crazy. You kind of would like to see that better, which probably means this Cheryl lady may not be that. It must be the most centrist fucking dog shit Democrat, just based on that. Because like AOC voters would vote for AOC and Trump because they want a person that they think will help them and will fight for working and middle class people. They think Trump will because they're dumb. But you want them to at least, because opposition to Trump is obviously a gigantic one in general for the guy that's out there fucking voting for, saying that he loves Trump now, whatever. It makes complete sense to go, okay, well, since he says he likes it, I'm going to go against it. President is not a factor for the Republican governor. Is kind of funny there, actually, because like he switched parties and changed up his whole fucking his whole look, and it's like most people are like, we don't care about that, but the fact that like you're not sticking to your guns, interesting. I mean, it makes it sound like he was not pro-Trump when he went before, which makes him sound anti-Trump, but they don't want to say he was anti-Trump because it makes him sound gross. So they just say he's now first-time pro-Trump. So I guess they're trying to say that, look, you guys are more negative and we are less, echo chambery or whatever. Is that what this is supposed to mean?
Opposition to President Trump. Cheryl's betting a campaign focused on an anti-Trump message will drive up vote.
Ew. Probably ew as well. I mean, theoretically better than a disgusting Republican Trump sycophant style guy to get in there, but honestly, will it be?
Voter turnout. Cheryl's even said Chitterelli as governor would be the president's quote.
The fact that they're specifically not aligning themselves with the momentum in their tri-state area nearby or whatever. I guess Virginia's not tri-state, but
lackey.
Jack Chitterelli has shown himself to be that kind of person. In fact, Trump himself tweeted that he's constantly seeking assurances from Trump. And we see it where he won't stand up to him on anything.
What's with the fucking military helicopter in the middle of your fucking thing? Oh, this is New Jersey.
Whether New Jersey flips red could come down to which candidate voters believe will solve their top concern, the high cost of living in New Jersey.
Wow, it's almost like you should go with the Mamdani angle. Wow. Huh. It's almost like you've chosen the wrong fucking bullshit liberal message.
Shannon?
All right, Brian, great to see you. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Hey, Sean Hannity. Get out of here. Trump. Oh, yeah, this is, I guess, probably the more important message to lead off today. They didn't talk about Obama at all. I thought they would because they love talking about Obama. Maybe that was happening before or after. Oh, snap. Officials must act as soon as possible to avoid prolonged interruption. Massachusetts judge also told administration to consider contingency funds. Wow, that's like partial payments. Anti-hunger program a few days late. 2 federal judges ruled Friday. Could not use the agriculture department could not use contingency plan, but federal judge ordered administration to release the backup funds for the program. Another judge directed the government to decide by Monday Did not immediately respond. Posted on social media. Clarify with the courts how to get SNAP funds out as quickly as possible. Blaming Democrats for any delayed payments. Sure, bro. Okay. What else I got? Food banks with SNAP, military families, Kamala's book. Who cares? I thought I had. Is it in the miscellaneous? Wait, didn't I have it over here? Oh, did it? Maybe I moved it over already. Let's see. I think. That was off of a video. Roller coaster seatbelt. Yeah, that's crazy. I had like a weird copter thing. Huh? I guess I lost it. Oh well. Oh well. Bizarre. Yeah, those two are fine, and this one's here. Do. Nothing there. Some weird ones here. And it wouldn't be in here. Let's see this one. It might be the last one since I haven't had a chatter in quite a while. Makes sense to not sit here with nothing. And I'm tired as fuck because I was up all night.
A new bombshell report just published suggests
Because we just saw the fire. The fire was started by a Florida man, right? So
that LA's most destructive fire may have been prevented if officials had simply listened to fire crews on the ground. A reminder what we're talking about here. The Palisades fire last January killed 12 people. It burned nearly 7,000 structures and caused tens of billions of dollars in damages.
because it was started by a guy or near a guy, apparently. Because I mean, it doesn't even say that he lit it. It's just that the fire was just started or just happened. And he was doing his best to call 911 the entire time, multiple times. And then they made him in trouble over it, which makes no sense to me. Because they put that fire out after he called a bunch of people, but then it smoldered underground for 7 days straight and then came out and blew away with embers and then became the Palisades fire. And it's like, can you really hold him accountable for that?
Federal prosecutors believe the massive fire that grew on January 7th was actually caused by a smaller fire from January 1st
right,
that crews thought was out. So they left the scene. Well, check out this headline in the LA Times. Days before the Palisades Inferno, firefighters were ordered to leave smoldering burn site. The report suggests that firefighters sounded the alarm about leaving, but they were not listened to.
That's insane, bro. All the more reason that fucking court case about pulling the guy out and say that it's his fault, insane. Because they multiple times talked about how you listen to a rap song, and the rap song in the music video for the rap song shows some fires being lit, but it's like a trash can to like warm their hands in the cold, and it's like a French song or whatever. So the fact that they were like, I was like, this makes no sense. You're trying to pin it on somebody.
Joining us now is Paul Pringle, the Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist who co-authored this piece for the LA Times. Paul, first off, thank you for this important work. Welcome to The Story Is. Can you sort of break down the main thing that you found here?
Yes, what we found is that the firefighters
on the ground of the January 1 fire the next day were ordered to pack up their hoses and leave by their battalion chief, even though they said the ground is still smoldering in places, rocks are hot to the touch, their tree stumps are smoking or are also hot to the touch. And that's what they did. They did as they were ordered. They left the scene. And as the federal investigation determined later, and that people had suspected for months, when the winds arrived on January 7, it picked up those embers that were left behind on January 2nd and caused the Palisades fire.
So why were they ordered to leave? Why did nobody listen to them?
We don't know, because the people we've reached out to with that question have not responded to us.
Hey, why did you do that fucked up thing? Why did you fuck it up so bad and cause one of the worst things to happen in this area in a long time? Left on red. Oh, well, I guess they didn't do it then.
I don't have a good answer for that. Everyone we've spoke to said they should not have left, should not have been ordered to leave. And, that's to stay there longer and to watch that burn scar and to keep your hoses out, that's routine, routine practice.
I think that's a good, important point to add, is that this is normal to do because you're worried about that exact problem happening. And then they have signs to test, like boom, rocks, boom, tree stumps, smoke, all these little things. Like, yeah, we know this is a thing and we're supposed to address this because of the potential other side. Like, the amount of fucking, like, nah, I need to save some labor. I want to say, too much overtime, guys. Get back here. Like, fuck me, man.
It's done all the time. In this case, it wasn't done. Even though we're starting to get those really scary wind warnings. They started arriving, I think, right around the 2nd, certainly by the 3rd and 4th. We were expecting very high winds.
And on the 7th, there was hardly any firefighters in the Palisades.
Mel Gibson's going to have the craziest conspiracies about who was behind this. Because his house did burn down in this fire, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. We reported that. That was part of our investigation. That despite these really, I think the wind warnings were unprecedented in their seriousness. For the first time, the National Weather Service used the phrase life-threatening. And Palisades was always one of the most dangerous areas for that kind of weather. And despite all that, there was no pre-deployment of extra people or equipment to the Palisades and other areas that were considered highly dangerous. And, we just have not received a good explanation for that.
I mean, unless the Palisades weren't where the most wind's going to be, and they were put other places. Like, I think they're normally dispatched to these places under these circumstances, especially when there's a fire that was left unfinished in an area downwind or whatever. Unless there was some other great reason to put them somewhere else, then even more questions about, did you want a big fire to happen? Maybe they didn't want a fire this big to happen, but did they want something to happen? Like, what the fuck? Like, a boring, smoldering, embered fire slowly snuffed out over a week is a snooze fest. But putting out another big, flashy looking fire, that'll get me the fucking captainship I'm looking for or something. Is that the fucking gamble? This is all speculation, obviously, because you got to think to yourself, why would you want this? And you're the one in charge, so like, you're gonna, even if you're like, aha, this will make Gavin Newsom look bad, like, you're the one who fucking did it or whatever, right? Like, if there's a political motive, it's like, I want to tank my own political career. Like, what? I don't understand. I think I'm missing something.
So you reached out to the fire department for an official comment. They haven't given you one. We reached out to the fire department for an official comment. We have not gotten one back from them. We do have LA Mayor Karen Bass coming on with us tomorrow, which was previously scheduled before your story came out.
Nice.
And we're in Very interested to hear what she has to say about all this. But based off of your reporting, essentially, if they took this more seriously, if the firefighters didn't leave that area, it seems very possible that this Palisades fire may have been either prevented or stopped much, much, much sooner, right?
Obviously, with everything, if I happened to be there at the right time, I could have caught that ball and won the game, right? There's always going to be one of those things, but when it's normal protocol to stay longer, to watch and monitor until the signs are gone for real. If there was, and so they talked about that being a protocol, but if the protocol is also when wind warnings are high, damn it, and there was a previous fire that is downwind of that area, whatever, it makes sense to pre-ready a bunch of firefighters and stuff. Like if those were the normal things that they then went against, there needs to be a good reason why, because Monday morning quarterback is always a thing that can happen, right? But you at least need to have been playing a play to justify why you did what you did. And it doesn't seem like we're getting that yet. And maybe they're trying to formulate a fucking story, but like this seems like all set in motion by them doing these things. So you think they wouldn't have a statement ready for it is kind of, to me, shows that it must have gotten out of hand. Again, speculation or whatever. I don't know.
Well, that's what the experts tell us, the people who fight these fires and have fought them for decades. That's the whole point of staying there, that if there is a hidden ember, you knock it down before the winds arrive. It also gets back to the pre-deployment. That's why you pre-deploy a lot of extra firefighters and engines and other equipment, knowing those winds are coming, because in these kinds of fires, because of the winds, because of climate change, you got to get them when they're small. And all fires basically start very small.
Paul Pringle doing excellent work at the LA Times, latimes.com. Subscribers can read his work right there. And obviously, this is going to be a big, big thing as part.
Ask him if the Florida man should not be held liable for this. And instead, the negligence or the willful disobedience of the proper protocols is at risk instead.
Part of the Southern California conversation for some time. Paul Pringle, thanks so much for your reporting.
Thank you.
Not trying to defend this random guy or whatever, but the way that they set him up seems so weird to me.
Thank you for having me.
Rick Caruso is a businessman and philanthropist. He ran against Karen Bass for mayor of Los Angeles last time around. He may do so again. He joins us live right now. Rick, welcome to The Story Is for the first time.
Hey, thank you, Alex. Congratulations on your new show. It's terrific.
Thank you very much. Your reaction to this new reporting from the LA Times?
That's really bizarre.
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the LA Times. I mean, it's great investigative reporting. Paul's a great journalist. And this is why we need independent press, is to hold people in power accountable. So, but it's a devastating story because, as you reported and Paul just talked about, we now know very clearly, based on these text messages, that the fire could have been prevented had there been the right leadership involved. And certainly the LA Times is clear on
the right leadership. Me. If only I was elected, you see.
Putting into question the leadership at the fire department, at City Hall, at Mayor Bass. And I think for everybody who was impacted by this fires, it's really tough to read this article.
What does accountability look like to you? Because you...
I'm going to say it stops with the mayor. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, wait, that was the person I ran against. Well, what do you know?
You previously criticized Mayor Bass when she demoted the fire chief. Do you now think about that differently?
No, because
fire chief that fucked it all up and did everything, and she demoted him because he fucked it all up. No, actually, that was bad because I want to look good. So now that has to be bad.
Demoted the fire chief before there are any facts come out. We're almost a year into this.
Do you think that's before facts came out? Do you think they didn't have facts they didn't make public?
Now, There's been an after action report, and now there's this reporting going on. The after action report also.
Because it's pretty easy to see, bro, they weren't there for the time period after. They just weren't dispatched to there. They were literally brought home under direct orders, coercion. And then they weren't pre-deployed. Again, those actions were not disseminated out at the timeline. I'm sure you can see a fucking history of the time. It's not like you needed to do that investigation and say, yo, you fucking broke protocol here. You didn't do these things that you always get done. But hey, I need to make it so that way she looks bad. And this might make her look bad.
So laid out all the failures. It's been crickets, Alex. The mayor hasn't made a comment, a statement on it about the after action report. I don't know of any statement that was made after.
Well, it's 9 p.m. right now. Is she going to bust out a thing about this thing that happened a year ago?
After this article came out.
I don't even like Karen Bass. I mean, but Rick Caruso is no better from what I've heard. It's an LA election, literally almost the exact opposite side of the country from me.
Out in the LA Times today. So I think everybody should be held accountable in some form or fashion that failed in their leadership role. But I don't think that you should be firing somebody just to deflect attention. And I think that's what clearly she did at the time. I think what's more important right now is we need to have an independent commission. It reminds me back in the days, Alex, where after the Rodney King, the terrible beating, we had the Warren Commission with Christopher Warren, an independent commission that takes all of this information. We all need to know exactly what happened before the fire, during the fire, and after the fire. And then we need to make sure we have solutions to all of these problems so we make sure it never happens again. I mean, the fire department, which I called out years ago, has been underfunded for years. They didn't have.
There was the defunding of the fire department or suspension of funds. And there was like this whole, technically it wasn't defunding, but like it's functionally defunding, right?
Enough equipment. We didn't have the water because the reservoir was empty. We wouldn't have worried about any of that had they pre-deployed and if they would have stayed there. But we need to know everything that happened, and we need to make sure we fix it so it doesn't happen again.
Sounds like he's doing some prejudgments here. Well, hold on. We haven't had the report about what happened before, after, and during. My man, why are you saying these things? Why are you trying to hold somebody accountable before the report's out? Didn't you just say?
Because too many lives were destroyed over very, very bad mistakes and a lot of incompetency at a lot of different levels in the city. I don't know of another disaster that was so easily preventable that had so much damage attached to it in this country. Maybe there is, but I can't think of anything.
You know, there are a lot of people watching this that are going to wonder about your future. You have said that you're considering running for mayor and running for governor, that you will make your decision when you make it.
I want to see who's, what is Gavin moving over to try to run for president? Is that what's happening? I want to wait to see.
But there are some people that are thinking about a third option, which is to run for the CEO of LA County, a job that's in place in 2 years, a brand new job. Does that sound appealing to you?
No, it doesn't. I think it's an important job. It's a critically important job, but it's not the job that I'm thinking about. So, I focus my attention, and we have a team focused on the governor's race that we're looking at seriously, and the mayor's race looking at seriously. And I'm getting close to a decision. Things like this actually motivate me even more.
Bro's got Christmas lights outside his house. It's kind of weird.
Because I think I could bring some leadership to bear that.
I'm checking it's on Halloween, and he's got Christmas lights out. Yeah. Kara's like, you think I'm obsessed with Christmas? And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. It's like kids are still like eating the candy from trick-or-treating, and you're like, I mean, obviously he didn't do any of this. He paid a bunch of servants to get it done, and maybe it's even a year-long thing. I don't know.
We need in the city, or we need in the state, and make sure that we don't have these kind of things happening again. And it's an honor to serve. And so how lucky would I be if I have the opportunity to do that?
Well, there's a new West Coast-based show that would love to hear your decision first, so I hope you'll consider us. Rick Caruso, thanks so much for joining us
Crazy.
tonight. We appreciate it.
Huh. I can't wait. Can I? Oh man, both these videos look like good ones. Let's add these to my days playlist so I don't lose them. Not that I would. Where is it at? This thing? Yeah, here it is. Days. And this one's always a banger. Days. Okay. Like it's 12:30 for me. I could probably keep going, but I am going to get more and more tired as the day goes on. I probably should try to focus on maybe even doing some of that ways of enhancing the video that I already put out. But like, I'm not gonna make it if I keep going forever, because then I won't be able to make the next stream. So today's stream was obviously a late start. Basically started almost when it would normally have been over. So whatever. 3 hours. At least it's a showing. Some cool games out too. We never played any. We played some, but we never finished it. It was kind of meh for me, at least. Yeah. So make sure to get something done off your to-do list. The classic. It helps. Make sure to take your meds too. That also helps. And yeah. See y'all later. Peace.